Hello and welcome to Tales of Temple Tankard. I'm Jim, aka Argent Wind. I'm your dungeon master for Avress the Shattered World here on the Temple Tankard YouTube servers, YouTube channels, and Discord servers. I'll get it right sometime.
You got it right
Anyway,
last week.
I did. This week, no, not so much. That's okay. This week, we are picking up where we left off here. Last week, the group had gathered a bunch of information, met with some folks at the Wizards Guild, and found out a little bit more about the Lost Expedition that Rary and a number of very famous mages were lost about a century ago. And got a little more information about just kind of the cataclysm in general, and just various information from from different sources around town. Actually met up with Lecter Schulich again, who gave him a little more information with the war efforts and what's going on. Um, and a little bit that they are keeping tabs on Corwayne's old house and trying to find any information about him and his whereabouts. Even though it is suspected that he is currently fled somewhere far away. Um, Lastly, the group brought Delia, the new, soon-to-be Duchess of Port Oruss, to meet with the king here King in Dreyvier, to become legitimized and welcomed into the family, to allow her to be officially the heir to Duchess Maltanas. And seemed to go off without a hitch there. The king, being a bit of a interesting little guy there, had a body double in place for a while when you first met him, and then he came in to actually get to meet himself. Um, did ask if formally ask for your assistance with the war effort to find out what's been going on with the giants and how to prevent them from doing anything else, and maybe help stop the hostilities in whatever way you can. So you pick up there. You are currently, at the moment, still in Dreyvier. You have ability to move around there. The king said he will take Delia, make sure Delia is brought back to Port Oruss, but of course you are welcome to do that yourselves. You have the capability of doing so. So it's up to you whether you want to have the king do it or you do it yourselves. But that is where we pick up here, as you are in Dreyvier, kind of determining what's next. So, what's next?
What does Delia want? Does Delia want us to take her back, or is she happy for the king to take her back?
I want to take Delia back because I made a promise to a hag that I'd make sure she gets back safely.
There is that. She's fine either way. I mean, she's a little bit out of her depth being here in Dreyvier and being around royalty and everything else. That she's still kind of new to this whole scene, and so visiting for a little while, getting to know a few people isn't bad, but would like to go back sooner rather than later. And if you're willing to take her, she'd be happy to go. And the king is not going to say one way or the other, because it's whether he assigns wizards to take her back or you take her back yourself, as long as she's back there safely, that's all that matters.
Yeah, we can take her back.
Okay. So you do have some time to talk with her beforehand there, or just talk with her afterwards. If you want to find out, I believe this might have some questions or some things there. Or if there's anything else you want to find out while you're in Dreyvier before you go. I believe you did meet a General Fornan from the military last time, who was sort of one of the commanders and gave you a little bit of information about the war, what's going on there. It's been going on for, well, at this point, months. They've had, this is confirmed by Lecter Schulich as well, that the scouts have had a lot of trouble finding out any information about their forces and things. Any people they've sent behind the lines have not come back to report. So, and what reports they have received through sending stones or whatever have been spotty at best. So there's definitely some perceptive capabilities among the enemy forces that are catching their scouts and preventing them from reporting back. Whether that means they're dead or just captured or whatever's going on there, they're not sure. Yep. So, what's the plan? Amethyst, you said you want. I know Amethyst has some questions, so let's. So what you want?
I would
Yeah.
like to speak with Delia.
Sure.
I'm planning on doing so, at least partly telepathically, because, well, I kind of want to get an idea whether she's made a decision about the coin yet. I also want to tell her that obviously the Duchess has asked if she doesn't take the coin up, if we will deal with it and send her back. And also, I would like to say that anytime, if she ever has any problems whatsoever with the coin, with the hunter, with anything to do with any of it, that we will be happy to come and assist her with whatever she needs. So I just want to put that out there and let her know that even if she does take it up, she doesn't have to keep it. It's not,
Yep.
binding. So
she's obviously concerned. I mean, to kind of put it in her own words there, she's, well, it represents a knowledge and capability I wouldn't have for maybe even decades. I understand the risk and I understand the obligation and what kind of creature she is. I don't know the whole story, of course, but I'm hoping to find out more. It's I don't want to. I'm not being pressured to take it up. It's literally there if I wish to take it, and I still don't know.
Mhm.
I have a lot to learn. I have not a lot of time to do it. So having the advantage of someone who has been around for a long time, who knows more than I might ever be able to know. My understanding is that this hag has been around since the formation of this country. It was instrumental in the formation of this country, in fact. So that knowledge is kind of invaluable. So, but I'm not going to rush into it. I don't want to. I don't want to get caught up in something that I don't. That I might lose myself in some way.
Okay. I don't think that's how it works, but I mean, it might depend on what we've had contact with some of the other coins. I myself took the coin that had the succubus in, and she was able to speak with me. I'd never felt like she was taking over me, and I don't believe she did that with Trevor either, although she did tend to bring out his mischievous side. I think that she didn't actually make him do anything that he wasn't already willing to do. But she was willing to go back to her own plane, and so we quite easily sent her back. But some of the others have been more difficult, but not impossible. So if you do decide to take it up and you have second thoughts, then, we can definitely help with that. But I don't think that you will lose yourself. I know that some of the group, some of my group don't trust Peg. But to me, she's not done anything negative. She's not caused any harm to people, or, I mean, she's certainly been taking care of Port Oruss, and, I think, I mean, it's a massive decision and it's definitely up to you. But if you do choose, I just wanted you to know that we have dealt with some of the other coins, and if necessary, we can deal with that one too. So if you do choose, then the offer is there.
Point of just fact here, that part of the conversation there, Bickle is nearby. So
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
telepathic or
Definitely. because I don't want Bickle hearing any of that.
Gotcha. Because he is there.
That was my main concern.
Yeah.
Or anybody really. I mean,
yeah.
not that obviously I will tell my group everything that I've said to Delia and what Delia has said to me.
Sure.
I'm not going to hold anything back there. I want to be completely transparent with the group, but I don't want to be overheard, which was my plan, was to speak with Delia on the way there, but we never got the opportunity because obviously he came along with us. So it would have to be telepathic.
Okay. One thing, I mean, in that being telepathic there, I mean, she does say, I mean, we could ask Bickle what that coin is like.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's only had it for a matter of a few months, as far as I'm aware. He took it up shortly, I think, before I was taken in.
We did notice because he was taller before, so we did notice that somebody else took up the coin. I do actually know, not well, but I did know Bickle before he took up the coin, so he might be a bit more sort of forthcoming with information about that. But it can't hurt you to ask, definitely.
And of course, being telepathic, the conversation takes place pretty quickly here. Sora's waiting. So you kind of like keep an eye, kind of watching and you are speaking telepathically, I take it.
Yep, absolutely.
Understandable.
Some things just have to be between us girls. You know how it is.
Right, of course. Well, I am here to watch over her, so if we're leaving and heading back sometime soon, then I will, of course, accompany. And at this point, since he gotta have the little face mask pulled down, at least you can kind of see his face now. Hood's still up there, so now that he's not like hiding,
I know he is.
Now that he's not hiding who he is, pretty much. So it's like, and Grim, you actually never met this guy before. He is a short Earth Genasi. So his skin's kind of a coppery color and the bright green eyes, which you kind of caught a little bit of the palish skin, and the eyes, first time, but now you're kind of seeing a little bit more clearly now as he's got he's not like trying to actively hide his identity at this point. And he's the size of a gnome, but definitely not gnomish. You've probably seen Earth Genasi before, being from there. There are not an insignificant part of the population in Coppervale. Earth Genasi tend to live underground and be near Earth, like Earth type places. So they are around there. And as he said, he's kind of a coppery, like rock colored skin and the emerald green eyes. That's sort of almost like faceted gemstone eyes. So
has the party already happened now then?
Yes, we'll call it afterwards here, essentially.
Okay.
Or kind of during whatever. It's you can kind of pull them aside there. Essentially, she gets literally pulled like every direction to talk to this person, and he's watching the whole time. So your first time to really have a conversation with her like this would be as the party's winding down. At the same time, you're introduced to General Fornin, find out information about the war, all the kinds of happening all in the evening after, kind of in the after. So we'll say it's probably not late, but definitely like after dinner kind of time right now, as this is on here. So, but yeah, she's willing to head back with you or head back otherwise, whichever you guys decide.
Are you able to do another teleportation circle? Yeah.
Yeah.
We might as well do that. I mean, it's pretty instantaneous, isn't it? So I know we've got to come back here, but I don't know. Can you do it twice or not?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, We'll do that then. We'll go back and escort her from the teleportation circle to the palace, to the house, whatever.
Okay.
Big house, yeah.
And then we'll come back to Dreyvier.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the did she as the circle at there wasn't a circle at the palace itself there, but
There
you
isn't
can
one
go the
there.
one.
Okay.
Well,
We have it.
she wouldn't offer that up.
No,
The Duchess
fair
wouldn't,
enough.
at least. Yeah. But yeah, you the Lyceum, and then from there, because I mean, Delia's a student of the Lyceum, so she knows her way around there too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yep. You kind of let them know they're coming there. Eventually, with the Lyceum, at least, there's sort of a big. There's a signature to teleportation circles that can be recognized after a time. So, essentially, uh, even without sending, at least to the Lyceum, you can pop in and it will be available to you. Essentially, to anyone else, it's like blocked. No, you can't go there. With you now, at least, since you've done it a number of times and the connections that you have, you're able to sort of like fire it up, and there's a bit of a pause, and then it goes through. So you don't have to burn a sending along with for every time you want to transport there, at least. Other places, you might want to be a little more careful.
Yeah.
I
think we've got enough
at least-
sendings between us, though. So
Yeah, exactly. It's not too bad as long, but yeah, you don't need to burn a third and a fifth every time you want to jump. So, or sending stones or whatever. So, anyway,
We have enough sending stones to go around. We could just sending stone.
yes, you could do that. Yes, you do have enough to do that as well. It's just, yeah. But anyway, so you arrive at the Lyceum there, escort her back to the palace. Um, the guards are at the palace, at least. Do say that the Duchess would like to see you all, and of course Delia as well, just to hear what happened, and to make sure everything's okay. Are you all willing to go, or you want to?
Why are you looking at me, Jim?
Because
Okay.
you're the one who always backs out when it comes to this thing. You
Yep.
wander up by yourself.
And you hate it.
So,
Are we back in Fort Oruss now?
We are.
yeah,
Yes.
we'll make the jump back. Yeah.
Don't
Okay.
forget
Yeah.
that she's actually put the coin in a box, and she is just the Duchess at the moment.
I don't hate anybody, Jim. I just strongly dislike the other person. But yes, I will be going.
And what'd you say, Grim? You were talking there.
No, I what I typed was to her answer to her question, but yes, I will be going.
Okay. Okay.
I will be going. Sorry about
Gotcha. All right. So upon there, it is to her essentially bedchamber still. She is still bedridden at this point. She is not able to get up at this point. She looks very weak, very frail at this and but she does perk up when you do enter, and they, oh, you've arrived. Good. All went well then, I take it.
Yeah, sure did.
Excellent. And it's wrecked by the number of coughs there. She looks weaker than the last time you saw her, which was like less than 24 hours ago. But it was this morning, basically.
Mhm.
I'm glad I don't have to worry that this won't happen now. At this point, is there any questions that you have? And she directs it to Delia, but she sort of looks over the rest of you as well.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
The one thing that Delia asked while you're all there is, Did the coin change you? And the Duchess sort of, and Kayla sort of looks up and not exactly, no. Not a change, but I did do things that I would not have done if I didn't have power and ambition. And I did. The inhabitant of that coin, she did exert influence. I was not first in line for the seat of the Duchess. I had a younger brother, an older sister. And yes, I did what I had to secure my ascension with the help of that coin. And she kind of like narrows her eyes as she looks at it.
Mhm.
It's why I've never had a family. I did that, and I wouldn't do that to anyone else. And I did not want there to be any issue with ascension or an heir. My heir is my choosing, and there will not be fighting about it.
Was that just the power, or was that the influence of the creature in the coin?
I can't say it. Both, neither, yes, no. It was 80 years ago at this point. I have lived with this power most of my life.
I think that must have been in you somewhere anyway.
I don't doubt that. I took up the coin because I had ambition in the end.
Yeah.
And the hag allowed me to act on it.
I do have one question. If Delia does take up the coin and she changes her mind, I know that you're able to put the coin away. I remember myself when I had the succubus coin, I could put it in a bag of holding, for example, and you've put your coin in the box over there. If Delia changes her mind, would that be something that was easy enough to do?
I don't think it would be easy. I have the impression that she does not wish to return where she came from. She has secured a domain here and would not wish to be beholden to the lords and ladies of the Feywild.
But then not every creature we've banished from coins has been willing to go back to their plane either.
No, they have not. I'm sure the werewolf fought very hard.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. That was fun.
that was a good fight. I liked that fight.
Both times.
And from my understanding, which is limited, of course, the fiend and the two fiends would not go easily either.
The chain wielding one, and which is the other one?
There are three. The chain wielder I've only heard rumors of and been informed of from my benefactor, but I do know that there are, well, one that killed my great-grandfather. a pit fiend. And there
Yeah,
is
he's
another.
gonna be dead so soon.
Well, I would hope that you do not have to encounter him. He is quite fearsome, and we know what he can do with that weapon of his. The others, well, the uh, the last. I only know of what it is, but not its capabilities or anything. But a Baylor. It's been the one kept most secret. But she kind of like inclines her head toward the coin. She has seen it.
We've seen it. Yeah. In a vision.
Yep.
I guess one other
think-
question for the child, and she might not realize it, or she might not want to ask it. Would you do it again? Was it worth it?
To have an unstable realm, to have squabbling over successions and everything else, I think it worked out for the best, but I will have to make peace with that in the afterlife, I have no doubt. So would I do it again? I believe I would. But I have taken steps to ensure that it would never happen in the future.
To Delia, you mean?
Exactly. She does not have to worry about succession. She does not have to worry about anyone backstabbing her over bloodlines or anything else. She is the sole heir.
Right.
And as I hope the king has signed, he will ensure that it is the same.
He did sign. We think it was the king.
And I'm pretty sure it was the king.
I mean, we hope so.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the king.
My nephew and his brother do like to play their tricks, though, I'm sure.
That
It's
they
a
did.
bit of a security thing. Doras is very protective of his brother and does not wish to part with his own activities. But Markham is quite a crafty young man, and he should be able to rule well. I thank you for your efforts and ensuring that that Delia has returned safely.
Of course.
I don't know that I will see you again.
No.
But I do thank you for the things that you put in place here. The things you've made this region much safer than it would have been otherwise.
Well, thank you to you also for that. You've made a large difference to this city.
Well,
point to the Dranasias. What's he going to do if she refuses it?
He has sworn to protect her regardless. He has nothing to do with the coin itself. His responsibility is to her. With or without the coin.
And I give him a look that says, "All right, you better do that too." And then
he just nods. I have sworn.
Almost worried about that.
I have sworn to do this, and I will.
It is my duty as a soldier of this nation. I just took up the power to do the job better than I could have otherwise. The being that I work with is very much a mercenary, and he is getting what he wants, which is continued existence.
Mhm.
Seems like
So,
all parties are happy, and she's got a good decision to make.
Yep. And she will have to do so.
Be at
With that,
peace,
though,
Duchess. Be at peace.
I I have a feeling I will not rest easily, but I will no longer be bound to this plane. So I have earned whatever's coming to me.
I think your good deeds have more than compensated for your bad ones. You made mistakes in the past. I mean, maybe not mistakes, but some bad decisions.
They were necessary. This is the problem with rulership. In order to rule, you must make decisions for reasons beyond yourself. Well, you have things to do, I am sure. You go out into the world and continue doing what it is you do.
Mhm.
and she kind of droops a little bit there, her eyes kind of half closed, and just kind of drifts off to sleep. She's still there, but definitely spent.
Mhm.
So and Bick will kind of head back out with you. The guards are at the door. The door's still there. We'll kind of be watching over. Um, well, eye-opening to say the least. So, more to think on, and I'm sure I will see you again. Good luck with the southern problems. Hope you'll spill over to northern problems.
We won't let that happen, don't worry.
Good, good. I'm sure. And I'm sure the military is doing what it can, keeping things at bay.
Do you have
Yeah.
a way to reach out to us if you need to?
I can, yes. I have resources available to me, and she did use sending before to you, so
Yeah.
yeah. So I have resources, and I'll have more, I assume, when the time comes. But
Yep.
I will be in touch and keep you apprised of what's happening, and I'm sure I will see you again.
You will. You take care.
And one thing, you will throughout this time here, you will notice she's wearing a satchel. She has a very pretty little like party dress and everything else on, but she's wearing this little satchel, and like those of you more observant there will see the satchel moves occasionally. A little bit of red yarn
Oh,
poking
the
out
dog.
in spots. Yeah, seems to be still on hand. And
Mhm.
Annie never really leaves her side unless she leaves it somewhere on purpose.
Mhm.
Sora's not that observant.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. The ones that know what to look for would spot it as well. So anyway, you have a chance to you are back in Port Oris at least. It is at this point probably 9 o'clock ish. You guys can jump back. You can do something else here. Up to you.
Nine
They're not.
o'clock a.m.
Yeah, PM.
Okay.
This is this.
Oh,
Well,
nighttime.
you said you wanted to go talk to your brother.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, uh, heading back across town.
I'll send a message to him
Yep.
before I
He's still
get there.
he's still up.
Mhm.
It is a hall as it's way down here. Um, Actually, no. Sorry. It's this one over here, isn't it? It's in this. It's in this neighborhood down here. I wrote which exactly what it is now. But you kind of meander down there. The streets at this point are. It is a summer evening. The streets are fairly busy in most sections there. People are coming and going, heading to restaurants and bars, and um, uh, just traipsing along the river, walking on the streets there. And nothing accosts you or messes with you along the way. You're able to, at this point, you kind of have the air of like thieves and muggers would never come near you because you would incinerate them in a heartbeat, and they kind of know that. You also have a bit of a reputation among them too, and so no legitimate syndicate would ever mess with you anyway because they all know who you are. Um,
And we have ties with some syndicates. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's one of those ones of like some street thug kind of thing might not realize, but you also look way too competent and dangerous. Okay. Um, what's
There's
that
a reason
here?
why we look dangerous.
Yep.
Because we are. Grr. She might
Did you just
look.
say grr?
I did say grr. She might look like a kitty cat, but she stings like a bee. Anyways, I'm gonna get to brother's house and knock on the door.
Mhm.
What?
I know. Things have happened. So I'm knocking on the door.
Did you get chastised last time?
Only by you.
Well.
I think you're the only one that ever actually does.
No, I'm not getting involved anymore.
Well, he was a little bit annoyed because at one point kicking in the door, you woke up the kid. So
Yeah, there was that one time. So
yeah.
knocking on
So
doors.
So yeah, wait, and when you approach there, yes, the whole crew will be there. Obviously, your brother and sister-in-law, and their barbarian and druid allies there, on site as well. The lizard folk and furbolg.
Okay.
They will actually be one more person there this time. Human. Um, this one, there's definitely a Grim. You pick up on this pretty quickly because this obviously is if not a member of the syndicate directly, at least an ally with. So to kind of check in there. They all seem at ease for the most part. There's the insights there. There's a suspicion about this person there. They just happen to be on site there.
So the whole party's here. Okay.
Yes. So
cool.
Laura, well, you're back in town again. Good.
Yeah, this time alive, I promise.
Well,
not dead like Amethyst told you.
Yes, these things happen, right?
Yeah.
Kind of narrows his eyes there. Happened to me once before too. Ever get head pegged by a frost giant? It's not fun.
Really? You got your head bit off by a frost giant?
Like smashed in. Ted pegged.
Oh, smashed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, it was.
Sounds terrifying.
Oh, luckily, and he kind of points the Leinster there. He had friends that could bring me back, and I was able to get back into the fight and take the thing down. It was rather upsetting, and she just kind of shakes. Leinster just kind of shakes her head. Just, luckily, we had healers. It was not very fun to see the person you're courting get squashed in such a way. But he has a hard head.
Well, yeah.
Apparently
Yeah.
not hard enough.
I think that kind of passed down to to my generation too. So I have
generation.
No, he's older than I am.
By about 8 years, yeah.
Same generation. You still have.
Yeah.
Never.
Leave it
Yeah.
alone.
Yep.
So I have a few questions.
Well, okay. What's that? What's your question?
What's it like having the kid around all the time?
Oh, my. It just mirrors that Nan's went Norbot.
Did I go robotic?
No, it's you.
It was me. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, he kind of looks at you strangely. Why?
Grim starts shaking his head.
Just wondering, what's it like having a kid around 24/7?
I mean, it's tiring. They're always on edge. They're always making sure they're safe. They're always making sure that people aren't around to bother them or wake them up from their nap or um
Yeah, sorry about that.
oh, these things happen. If it's not you, it's a cart going by or thunder or something. um he does tend to like storms. I don't know. Kind of looks over at Lindstrom like it's I don't know.
Sarah?
Loud noises, wind. No, he likes it actually. He always gets excited when there's thunder and lightning. Like that's maybe it's more of his thing. Kind of points to the blue dragon.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's yes,
And
exactly about this. They're always getting into things. They're always curious. They're always asking why. They're always asking for more food, and no, they don't want
And
to
then
sleep.
wiping it on your clothes.
is talking now? I didn't think he'd be old enough to talk now. Well, yeah, he was like older.
Yeah, he was a toddler when you got him when you found him. He wasn't an infant. He was
He
I
was
mean, he was
like toddler. Yeah.
yeah. So
You want
he's
to know
not.
what it's like? Why do you want to know what it's like to have a child with you? 24/7.
Well,
Just wondering.
Why?
Also, what's it like being married?
Why?
well,
Because I've not been married, and I haven't spent like actual time with Sherlock, and I'm having a feeling that this is coming to an end soon, and that's going to happen, and you know stuff.
Stuff.
You spend all the time with Elia
All the time.
all the time.
Because I make
mentally,
the effort to go and see her.
Yeah, so that's going to be a thing. I'm wondering what it's like now.
Why?
well,
I'm letting you know what it's like to have a child with you all the time. I'm just going to keep asking you why every time you say something.
So the toys and stuff I brought,
yes,
good idea or bad idea?
he does like them very much. We have to watch out for ones that he can break in half and try to chew on, so I mean, it's a matter of watching out over them and keeping an eye. And ones that have smaller parts, we wait until he's older to play with them. So, um, he's not putting things in his mouth. But yes, it's all good things to bring in.
Do you ever get time alone?
Oh, you're funny.
Oh, damn. Okay. All right.
no, it's really we do manage some time. It's nice having uh, and she's sort of like friends to watch over the little one when we want to spend some time alone. And she kind
Yeah.
of points to the druid mainly. Although
Aw.
last time you did see that the lizard folk there, he definitely had would show like interest in playing with the kid and kind of keeping him active, and
Yes, and he looked very tired in the same sense.
he did, yes, yeah.
Sarah, have you ever thought about going back to Drakal?
Uh, I wasn't born there. I'm from
Right,
Scarlos.
Right. I mean, I'm from South Haven, but like
Right.
now that it's safe, you ever thought about going there?
Um, Not really. I mean, maybe to visit if it's possible someday, just to see what it's like. But I've never even seen it. I don't know. I grew up in
What
the
if
frozen north. Um,
what
and
if I said I was going there and I was going to stay there?
Well, wait. You're going to go. What? So this is going to be a thing then someday.
Yeah,
Well,
and sooner than you think.
how soon? Are we talking about tomorrow, or are you talking about?
Like we're gonna deal with these ogre wars, and then it might be then.
Well, I mean, we definitely have ties to the region, so going and visit when there's peace. Um, Mother's kind of informed us a little bit that the the hostility has lessened. The things are different there. Um,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least among her contacts, at least they've been reporting this.
And
So
and I have a good in with some, is it giants,
the
Jim?
storm giants, yeah.
Yeah, I have an in with storm giants in their trade
You
if you want
mentioned,
that.
uh, I don't. I'm not saying I don't. I mean, it's a little far for me, but I'm sure we could arrange some sort of trade and
Not if
potentials.
you go to Jiris.
Well, I mean, I have all of my business contacts and everything here, so I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I would
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
definitely be willing to go for a visit, and I, since it's possible, going to see mother and her family, and assuming I would be seeing you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, then yes, we would make the trip at some point. Move there
See if I
permanently? Probably
can
not.
convince mom to get up there too.
I mean, it's possible. I I think a lot of her animosity has lessened over the years based on having a family again and having a purpose, and now that purpose isn't as urgent as it used to be. It's a matter of, well, a, a change. The whole
Okay.
the
Yeah,
whole
it is.
the whole
It
area is
is a whole
changing.
thing. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's not going to happen overnight.
No.
It's something that's, going to be slow.
Hmm.
All right, so we're gonna go deal with these ogres. Do you have any advice on ogre fighting?
Giant.
Giants.
Giant fighting. I thought they were ogres.
Ogres,
there are ogres among them, but those are not the ones to worry about.
Okay.
wielding ogre demon fiend.
Yes.
thing.
Well, there's that. Yeah. No,
Yeah, there's
the,
that guy.
the remember ogres are still giant runts, so just like Goliath are stone giant runts. So essentially, take a hill giant, shrink him a bit there, and you make an ogre.
They're really strong runs.
The runts to a giant, which is still big. Um, I am
Robotic.
at one point, yeah,
Robotic.
Earth is over and kind of grabs your hand, Thora, and just kind of looks at you. Um, it'll sort of happen.
Is it me or
Uh,
is Jim robotic?
Jim's
He's
very
robotic.
robot.
And
Yeah.
robotic,
so
yeah.
my 1 sec.
Storm happening and whatnot.
It's them storm giants.
I did say it and I said it too many times. I'm sorry.
But
Storm giants. What's funny is his
Okay.
video is fine, but
How about now?
his
Yeah.
audio. There we go.
It's been coming, but I just saw my ping dip into the red. So, yeah, it's been weird, but all audio issues right now, so hopefully it doesn't get worse. But anyway, yeah.
The last we
there's
heard,
that.
you grabbed Sora's hand.
Yeah, Sierra kind of grabbed Sora's hand and kind of held it for a bit there. You guys noticed that. Grim, in pointing to that, Sierra actually was like, "Oh, I'll definitely like to talk things over and see what we can arrange in terms of transport and travel, and maybe widening the market into some other areas."
Yeah.
I have a number of connections with Shorehaven and other places for legitimizing some trade and getting out of the smuggling business and into the more legitimate trade.
Yeah.
I'll let them know. Definitely.
Okay.
Put the word out there for you.
Yep. So the trading company, they have from what you and just so you know, the human that was here is not in the room with you guys now. They actually took their leave and took off there because while he's a contact of them, he's not like a member of the company at this point. So the human you didn't know, he just kind of once you guys all kind of had a conversation, he left.
Because I was ignoring him anyways.
Yeah, he's not part of there. Grivlak and Molvatash are sort of like they're kind of fairly quiet among them because neither of them are very talkative in general. But they're still in the area there. But yeah. Anything else here?
Oh, I took care of that little issue of Shorehaven that I had. I got arrested and fixed the problem.
I wasn't aware you had that problem.
Oh, well, you know, when you steal something that's not yours from a lord, he tends to have an issue with it.
Oh, that would be a thing, yes. Okay. So you got it straightened out then? You can,
I did. Uh-huh.
Good.
I got laughed at by my own party members.
I mean, I would laugh too.
Good.
You
At least it's not just them.
Did you steal the item? Yes. Have you still got the item? Yes. Can we have it back? Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. Take it up
well,
order.
Why not? I like it. Such a good paladin.
Yep.
Take it one up order, Grim.
Your paladin order. I'm gonna tell
Oh, that order.
Stealing.
You go talk to Bahamut and see what he says.
I mean, like as far as I'm aware, Sora's not part of an order specifically, neither am I. We sort of go our own path, follow our own oath.
Yeah.
Although,
what he
Sora
said.
likes to be the one doing the ordering.
That is true.
Yes. Yeah. I don't follow a deity. I follow my own. Although I've had to put away my. I don't. I've had to put away. I've put away my oath for now.
Yeah, you should, because you don't have to worry about that now. You took care of that problem. All right. Is he sleeping? Can I go bug him?
The kid's sleeping, yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Look, I didn't take your door down today.
That's good. We've gotten better at repairing it, but still, I know you have to do so.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing it too much more.
Well, so,
Yes.
well, it's a matter of finding, growing up a little bit, maybe.
Sure. Is there anything you need before we head back to where are we going?
You going to my place. You guys can stay with my place if you want. I got room for you.
No, I mean like the city. What city are we going to? Dreyvier.
It's a good idea to carry on saying the word country instead of just the first
Stop it. What? Dreyvier. We're going to Dreyvier.
You know where
So-
she's always got that mind. She is always in the gutter.
Like,
So
what did
you-
Dreyvier do to you?
Well, you know what it did to me.
Mm,
I died there.
Where didn't you die? Sorry, never mind.
Just one.
Wow.
Twice now.
Twice, yeah.
Wraith killed her
That's right.
once.
That's right. No, Wraith tried to kill her. He didn't actually take her out.
No,
Got her-
we died
her
in
into
the
that
Wraith
phase.
city.
killed her.
Hmm?
We died in the city.
Oh yes.
When me and
Yes,
Lucas
yes.
teleported away,
That's right. Yes.
she's died. I'm counted. She died twice.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep. Yep.
Like
I killed
Buffy.
it twice.
That wasn't her fault though.
No, it was
No.
the DM. The DM was evil that day.
Yes, the end was very evil.
Well, if he was so evil, I wouldn't have come back. But whatever. All right, we're going off to Dreyvier. Is there anything you need from Dreyvier while we're over there?
No, I think I'm all right. No, just you stay in touch and you stay safe ish. And well, we'll see you when you come back.
Will
Our
do.
siblings
Well,
love that is stay safe-ish.
None of us,
Not too.
none of you are safe. You
no.
all get into trouble.
If we're
I-
going to count siblings, who would be the safest right now would probably be Doldress inside of her books. The
Yes.
hardest thing that'll happen to her is a paper cut.
Pretty much. Although the young ones might be fairly safe where they're at too. But
No, you didn't meet their dad.
well, someday I
Out
will.
hunting dinosaurs and whatnot.
That sounds fun.
Well, yeah, because we're grown-ups.
Right.
While we're in Port Oris, didn't we have some things to pick up from Nils? Maybe they're ready now, so I'm going to do a
Yep.
sending to him and ask.
Okay.
yeah, we go.
It's after his shop isn't open, but
Since it's like 10 o'clock.
at this point, yeah, but we're pushing like 10 o'clock there. Like, no, like, Amethyst, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course, your items. I have, so come by the shop. I'll have something for you, and I've arranged for something for you as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll tell you about it there.
okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So,
All right.
if you guys go from there, head up to the shop.
Yep.
So, Nils, I mean, he's awake. Usually Nils doesn't sleep a lot. He tends to stay awake all hours doing projects or whatever else that. So, and so, at the shop there, he'll let you guys in. So, he asked for a banishing device. That's the one. I understand you're going to be doing a little bit of work in the South Dreyvier military group there. So
Mhm.
I want you to talk to General Goldall. Check in there. I've made arrangements for her to hand over one of the banishing devices I made for the military to y'all.
Fantastic. Thank you.
It's going to take me a little time to get that finished here. So if you need it sooner, she can hand over one of the ones there. So made that there. In addition, here, and he actually takes it as a cloth bundle about yay big, and you kind of unwraps it on the counter there, and you'll see there's 4 arrows, and they're sized for a short bow. So you either Lucas or Grim could use these, obviously. These are arrows of banishing. I was able to make these different aspect there. I mean, so I was able to put these together here for you. Essentially, they work like the banishing spell. Actually, they work exactly like the banishing shot for the arcane archer. So if you want to look up that ability there, it's that the arrow works just like that.
Oh,
So
nice.
you hit,
Fantastic.
they make a save, they get shunted off for a certain amount of time. It isn't quite as good as the banishment spell, but it is something that will help you in that aspect there. So, this is all I can put together on a short notice there. I should be able to make some more down the road. But it's a little easier for me to make these than it is to craft the spell plate and everything else for the Manatee version. But as I said, General Goldall will be able to hand over one of those. I've already made the arrangements for that they can loan it out to you, and she'll just want to make sure you turn it back in when you're done with it, because that one's at least, and then I'll make you a new one yourself, or have a new one sent once I get it done. It's a high demand item right now.
Just out of curiosity, how
yes.
hard, or you might have, would it be to have an arrow that has a really, really, really big boom?
I mean, you want explosive arrows?
Yeah, really big explosive arrows.
I mean, I can make a. I mean, I've
Loaded
got
explosive arrows.
Well, I can make. Well, if you're talking about fireball, that's a little beyond just a simple thing here. Explosive, a smaller localized explosive, I can definitely do. In fact, one sec. He actually kind of goes in the back there, comes out. Just a minute, and you see him literally take a set of crossbow bolts, and he just sets them down on the counter there, and does something like just kind of waves his hands there, casts something there, and just kind of spreads his hands across the crossbow bolts. And there's a two of them. He just goes, and they turn from crossbow bolts into short bow arrows, and he's like, these will just add essentially a half-size fireball, essentially, so they'll do 4d6 upon impact. So the larger ones, those are quite a bit more tricky to pull off here. But I do have these. These are from my own stash. He actually kind of points to the crossbow that's up in the corner of the room. I don't use these.
Old reliable that's all dusty.
No, it's very well crafted, dark wood, beautifully made, and it actually tracks. Like it's more like a turret.
Okay. I was just being facetious because he doesn't need it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things that it's definitely he's an artillerist, and so that's his artillery that's pretty much always active now. Yep. So so he hands you two explosive arrows.
Okay.
You can write those on your character sheet somewhere and make note that you've got two small half fireball shots.
Who's having the banishment arrows?
You can split them amongst Lucas and Grim if you want. They can both use them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do have a lightning bolt. Or lightning.
Yeah, it's a long bow though.
It is.
These are short bow.
Oh, sorry,
arrows.
it's not lightning. Yeah. It's a thundering bow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a big bow. Yep.
But I can't use it.
Yes, you can. You're proficient.
Mm-hmm. I need to be attuned to it to use it.
That one's attunement?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. Okay.
It's all good.
All right. So, all right. Yeah. Anything else I can do for you? I'll see what I have on hand. If you have any other requests, you don't have your ship with you currently, so I can't send that way. I might be able to. I might be able to send things to. I have places I can send to Dreyvier if you ever need to pick something up there. I do have some contacts there that will receive items. If there's something you need, I don't have on hand.
We can always come back and pick it up.
There's that too. You do have a pretty good mobility these days. It is a perk of of a higher skill level and such.
It's not a magnificent mansion on a flying carpet, but it'll do.
It's a fun way to travel in style. Yeah, I definitely recommend it if you ever get a chance. It's it's a little difficult to swing it without the right people doing the right kinds of spells, but it's something to think about down the road.
Something to look forward to for the future.
Yep.
Hey, Lucas, you want one of these explosive arrows?
Yeah, I think that. I can cast fireball, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah. Give him to Grimbar. He likes the big booms.
Big
Yep.
bada boom.
He likes big booms and he cannot lie.
That's a fact.
Well, if you have anything else you need, like I said, you can always send to me or pop back in. I do, but I think I'll be heading back home now. So actually, he kind of nudges up the like he lives above the store somewhere.
Mhm.
So
Thank you,
Good
Nels,
night.
for everything.
Good night,
anytime,
Nels.
anytime. Y'all be good. Y'all have a good time. Be safe. Be destructive. Be heroic. All that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. If you insist. Give our love to the family.
Of
Don't
course.
have to fight too hard to do that last bit.
Be heroic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn hero, sir. Are you going to pop and seal Andrew before we go?
Are we going? Are we just...
I don't know. Are we going?
I'm actually going to change my attunement on one of my items.
Go for it. Yep.
I'm going to take off the mind shielding attunement, and I'm going to put on that violent bracer of force.
Okay.
Violet bracer of force.
Cool.
I am going
Violent works too.
It's both violet and violent,
Yes.
Because I want to learn
like myself.
exactly. I want to learn exactly what it does.
I believe it gives you a spell you can drop out now.
Yeah, it's magic missile, isn't it?
It does that normally.
We'll see.
So
Does it do something different?
I believe so.
Huh.
It's been a while since I made it, so let's see. I'm pretty sure it does something fun on when it's attuned. Let me see. Let's just point that out there as you attune to it. Yes. It does have, it still has 7 charges.
Yeah.
And yes, for 1 charge you can cast magic missile, and you can increase the spell level by adding more charges there. However, when you're attuned to it, you can cast Mage Hand. Spend 1 charge to cast Mage Hand, or 5 charges to cast Arcane Hand, which is the big glowy hand that can punch and grab and do everything else.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something other than that was on there, but okay, I have that down there already.
Yeah, but you have to be attuned to use those 2 spells. Otherwise, it just does magic missile. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, requires attunement only for expanded spells.
And I
Yeah,
can
so
actually punch somebody.
yes, or grab them, or shove them, or just be in the way.
Your hand over their mouth.
Yeah, kind of. Well,
no.
it's a hand bigger than they are, so you can't really put it over their mouth.
Oh, okay.
And Mage
put it
Hand
over the whole body.
Yeah, Mage Hand you can kind of it's a hand of force, but that'd be an interesting way to use it.
No, I was thinking of Elney,
Yeah.
or Ask when they're talking.
Use Mage Hand and pinch their mouth shut.
Rude.
Yeah. Okay.
This is what you are doing. This is what I want you to do.
No. So,
Love you, Elmy.
So, yes, we do wish Elney the best. He's helping a friend right now who's going through some stuff today. So, we'll hopefully have S back next time. So, yeah, you are in Port Oris here. You guys can make the jump back. You can stay here for the evening, whatever you want to do. It is at this point pushing 10:30 or so. So you can stay here for the evening and then head back in the morning, or whatever you want to do.
It's up to Lucas, really, isn't it?
Sure is.
I'm gonna stay here in the morning. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would like to stay here in the morning. I have things I have to pick up. and check on.
Okay.
I don't know if they're done yet. They
Okay.
didn't. So.
I guess it's up to
Cool.
Grimbar.
Then I guess we're going to the Temple Takeard.
Okay. You guys
Come
can.
stay at my place.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to the Temple Takeard because your
I'd
place
rather
doesn't
sleep in a
fail.
bloody tree.
Okay.
Gee.
Wow.
He told
I-
me when he got the house, he told me that I was not welcome there. I am never setting foot in that house, let me tell you
I
right
never
now.
said that.
Never. You did, absolutely. And if you
You
want me
did.
to,
You
I will
did.
go and save that little bit of the video and then put it on a loop, send it to you. 10 hours of that, of you saying Amethyst is not welcome in my house. Because that's what you said, and I am never setting foot in that place, just so you know.
I don't remember saying
Yeesh.
that. And so I apologize, but I don't remember saying that.
After he
I
made
believe you were
so
saying it.
welcome in our house and everything. You're like, you're not welcome. Okay, all right then, fine.
Anyways,
Okay.
I'm gonna go
So,
to the Temple Tankard and
Me
order
too.
some water.
okay.
Water?
Water.
Not
You
even
don't want to
milk.
get drunk before we go to
fish
war?
pee in water, right?
I
No,
don't want to get drunk before we go to war.
What is wrong with
fish
you?
pee in water.
Well, things.
Fish pee in water, right?
Things?
Yeah, this is filtered.
Sora?
Yeah.
There used to be a time when you told me everything.
You're assuming I didn't tell you anything?
Yep, absolutely. Come on, let's go
Okay.
get you some water.
Cool. Then we can talk.
So the tavern is lively as usual. You definitely are able to get in there, and that one works, I think. Yeah. As you are, it is lots of folks in there as normal there. Some people you recognize, some people you don't, as usual there. Yes, your usual bartender friend there is there, Grim. Sandy is working the main bar. You will see, yes, the trio at the head table. Mabel, Ionar, and Perrin, all in attendance. The winged angel bartender in the back, people crowded in. The music is somewhat subdued. It isn't quite as driving, thumping music there. It's a little bit more kind of old tavern fare. Maybe and so people are kind of there's a little more conversation, a little louder conversations happening, a little less stomping and jumping around as it seems to be it's still a very lively night in the tavern. Guys, and check in with folks.
Bar and order.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely
Don't
get
mind
there.
Amethyst and Sora, they're just speaking telepathically with one another. And
Okay.
Amethyst is looking at Sora very intently.
Okay. So there's a intense staring contest happening between the Dragonborn and Tabaxi, Dragonkin and Tabaxi. Lucas, yeah, like Lucas, you know these people. They're obviously having a very intense conversation because, while they're not speaking aloud, you know the telltale signs, and have the high enough insight to know what's happening there at least. Graham, you able to get a round of drinks, have it delivered over to a table that Mabel and Ironheart kind of just kind of, they're obviously in conversation, but they recognize you're there and kind of wave at you. But you guys at your own tables, somewhat nearby. One of the nicer booths kind of opens up for you, and yes, you guys have the evening to discuss things, to make plans, to figure out what you want to do, and or decide what's happening. What is your plan, at least for the next day?
Keep asking questions to Sora until she answers some of them.
Okay.
Trying. You typed too damn fast.
I know.
Well, ask the questions out loud so we aren't all wondering what the hell you're talking about.
No, because I'm not. No.
Okay. Then nobody out there will know. Cool.
No, everybody will know. All right,
Everybody will know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Sora's ready, Amethyst is not making any announcements.
So,
Okay.
so I will say this out loud. This last fight with the giants that we're fighting is probably going to be my last. I'm going
You're not
home to
dying again,
Charlotte.
are you?
No, I'm
You die
going
again.
back. I can't die. There's too much at stake for me to not die. And we'll put her hand over her stomach. I'm
I will
going
give
home.
Sora a hug.
I'm going home to Shorelix, and I will finish the fight out with you guys, but I have to go back.
So you've been chosen as a queen to replace one of the queens?
No.
Not yet.
But I've been considered as a princess now. That is the title I get.
It's essentially the dragonkin, the draconic word for that.
Mhm.
And those of you with some, and those of you who've spent some time in and around Drakal, obviously recently, so you kind of have an idea that the princess is essentially the title given to dragonkin women that can have eggs, that can have young. Many of them cannot. Only a few can really. And then essentially you go up from there to being Duchess, or sorry, Baroness, who's actually had their first clutch. Duchess has had multiple clutches, and then Queen is sort of the leader of the Duchesses. Is kind of how that works there in terms of each how it's organized at least. Most queens have a council of duchesses who basically act as who've also had multiple clutches and serve as advisors and everything else. And so you kind of saw this among the courts that you were in, less so in Agiris, but more so in Stanor and Synchro. Definitely how it was organized there. So yeah, there is news there. So Sora,
It is why I needed to stop by and talk to my brother because insight on it. I act very much like a child, and now I cannot be. I have to be an adult.
No, really?
Yeah, I
You
do.
act like I would have never thought
That's lies.
that.
I'm
Never
50 with 4 children and 5 grandchildren, and I have not grown up yet, let me tell you.
But the thing is I would have never thought it was an act.
You're funny, Grandpa. Here, have some water.
Can't hear. What did he say?
I missed it too. It was way too soft.
He
I
said,
she's acting like a child, and I said I would have never thought of it, especially the part about acting.
Yeah.
Well, you got to figure I'm older than everybody here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
so where's the baby?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are you and Lucas are in your late 20s, early 30s. Grimm's like in his what 50s,
I'm 70.
70? Yeah, okay.
70.
You're still young for a dwarf.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those things of it was very odd for Ionar and Mabel to be out adventuring at the age they were. They were basically kids. Okay.
So,
Um,
yeah, that's also the reason I've been kind of distant and went off to the beach, and I've been trying to figure out what home is. I did not expect the vision that I got from the dragon,
Mm.
but I went there to kind of clear my head, figure out what I wanted, because that's when I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And we were dealing with a bunch of stuff at that point, and I needed to figure out what I wanted first.
Well, how far along are you? Because when's the last time you saw him?
So the last time I saw him, when we
Yeah.
were in Agiris, and I said I'm going to go see Strolix real quick.
Yeah.
it wasn't real
And
quick.
2 days,
It wasn't
was
real
like
quick.
2 days
Yeah.
later. Like 2 days later, we all band back up together. Yeah.
And she'd seen him off and on while you guys were in Drakal. So
Mm.
Yep.
when exactly one of those visits, probably.
Mhm.
So it's been what, 2 or 3 weeks since the end of that Aegis battle? Maybe about a month or two.
Probably about a month. Yeah, you guys spent about a month in Drakal, and a couple of weeks since then. So somewhere about a month along. Which you don't. I won't get into exactly how dragonkin work, and other than the fact they do lay
Please
eggs.
don't.
So
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to go there. So
I will
Nope.
order.
You'll have to
a
ask Crow
dragon
Cosmere
tooth in
later.
her name.
You're gonna order what?
Dragon drink in her name, and I'll drink it, not you. I'll drink it.
Dragon drink?
And
Dragon drink.
Well,
Yeah.
what did you call it? You know what I'm talking
Dragon's
about.
breath?
Dragon's breath. Yeah.
That was in
I'll order a dragon's breath in your
Yep.
honor, and I'll drink it. I won't make you drink it.
Effectively, it's the highest alcohol content ale they have. They pour a little bit of like grain alcohol on top and light it on fire. So you gotta blow it out there and just down it quick.
It's fun stuff. I actually got drunk off of that, turned into a
Mhm.
balloon.
Yep.
turned into a balloon.
You got, you know, I look at MSS. You're a bad influence on her.
Happened.
That was not her doing.
Yeah, it was nothing to. I didn't touch
You're
her.
teaching her bad habits.
I've not got anybody pregnant. Let me tell you.
That would be a trick.
That would be a trick.
Yes, it was.
Of course, you might.
Yeah.
Just saying, you have the many
Probably morphs into
many
if
forums
her-
now.
If
Wow.
what's her name?
No, we're not
polymorphs
going
into a
there.
male bear or something, you never know, or a male cat.
No,
You never know.
no.
Just
No.
no.
about
Okay.
it. We can go find eyes and ears, but look, think about it. You guys are gonna be a bunch of
You better
itchy
stop. You better stop.
buttholes.
Like me.
Who, me or her?
Me.
Her.
You can go find eyes and ears. You guys are gonna be aunties and uncles. You get to come and play with all the kids, because Lord knows I don't know how many I'm having.
I mean, typically
No, Jim, I don't know.
2 to 4.
Don't
Usually.
don't princesses have like servants to do that?
I technically do have them already, Grim. We leave them at the house because they get killed every time we took them out.
Oh, what?
Iris and Reese and Catherine. Well,
Just Reese.
Catherine not so much, but you know.
Yeah. So
And now
that may be
Reese-
something you have to. Yeah.
now that Reese is married to Catherine, he now belongs to my mother as well. But Iris is mine.
Yes, and so that may be something to arrange down the road. So obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I look at Lucas and say, I'm glad I'm not nobility.
I'm not either.
yeah, princess is just a designation, not an actual royalty.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
technically,
You're a princess. Duh.
well, technically, I mean,
I took the knight background, which gave me people.
clearly the dad is the grandson of the queen of Aegis, so
Wait, what?
Remember,
again?
Strolix is the grandson of the queen.
Oh yeah. I know
Yeah,
that part. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alrighty.
So, the eating festivities will go along here. You guys can obviously, anything else you want to plan or discuss or figure out what's happening here. But yes, I know Sora's definitely taking care a little bit more. You're just gonna notice that where Sora used to be just kind of all bluster and just kind of move through the crowd like nothing could ever hurt her. A little bit more like aware of her presence, a little more. Like not bumping into things, not like shoulder checking people as she goes by. That she did it on purpose, but she was sort of like not always quite so aware. But there's definitely more awareness and more care being taken, at least.
Definitely won't be bursting through doors like the blue Kool-Aid man or jumping off of airships.
There's that.
Thank God.
But But you're going to go to war and fight some giants.
Well,
is
I'm
that.
going
Wings
to.
that thought
I
she could
am.
fly.
I am not going to war. I am going to go help with the war with my friends with me. I am not going to be the one man army like Sora used to pretend she was.
And fight some giants and the chain devil potentially.
Yeah, that's my only hiccup.
So you're going to become more of a tactician.
I'm going to become more of the not fight 3 people at one time, maybe fight 1 or 2 at a time.
Yeah. And
Let's go fight somebody.
Esk is Esk is kind of overjoyed as he's he knows more about this whole process than the rest of the group does.
I'm going to get him drunk.
Why is he a dad?
I am going to have him swear fealty to her. That is
Who?
my goal. That is my
Who?
goal.
Esk.
Esk?
Yeah,
Oh man,
I'm going to
I
get
would
him
hate
drunk.
to
And
see
I'm going to get him to swear fealty to
Yes.
to protect
Please.
her nest.
Well, that's something to discuss when the S player is back, obviously. So
Yes,
that may be something to
fun.
consider. But
That's gonna be fun.
yeah. So effectively, yes. So you'll have rounds of other non-alcoholic drinks and everything else. Including some chocolate milk. um,
Chocolate milk's good.
or other forms of non-alcoholic cocktails and everything else. So you kind of broaden your horizons with different kind of drinks and things that you can try. And as the tavern owners get wind of what's happening and the fact that what you guys are planning to do, Ironheart seems to kind of know at least a little bit. We'll buy some rounds for you, everything else, and you'll actually be able to have a fairly pleasant evening. Yeah. And well, at least not any major cares in the world for the moment. You guys can settle into rooms, places to stay, whichever you like. Obviously, Grim has a house to go to. Lucas, you have a tower attached to Grim's house if you want to go there, or nearby it, or an apartment, at least an apartment there as arrangements. Other arrangements are still in process.
Have you bought the place?
Hmm?
Has he bought his house or his condo or his?
Essentially, he's kind of put the money down there, and Lindra's looking because he's the one that lives here. So
Yeah.
So yeah. So basically, there is that. So other than that, though, the evening passes uneventfully. You guys have yourselves a good time. And in the morning, you have a chance to. You've already had your rest. You've got your spells back. Everything else is ready to go, and you can decide what's up next. Anything you want to do before heading back south?
Yeah, I go to the that gem place.
Sure. And you
Going
and
on.
yeah. So a little closer over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Check on the status.
Yeah. So you just gave it them 2 days ago or a day ago? A couple of. It was
like
pretty
2 or
recent.
3 days.
Okay. Yeah, they've made good progress. They aren't quite done with the whole set, but they're definitely coming along there. Next time you stop by, they should have them ready to go.
Okay. Because you said that wasn't going to be only. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I think. Well, let's see. If it was 3 days ago, yeah, we'll say, yeah, they'll have them ready. Because again, you weren't asking for something too crazy. But yes.
I didn't want them to rush on it either.
Okay.
I wanted it to be perfect.
Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, they're taking their time and making sure it's done just right to your specifications and everything else. Yeah, then they'll definitely have it next time you stop by. They are at the point now where they're doing the final cuts, getting everything set up just right there for you. Okay.
All right. Excellent.
All right. Anything else in town before you guys meet up and with this, of course, you will have a running conversation off and on with Delia, of course, as she's just kind of finding out what's going on. And
don't tell Elia yet.
No, okay. I was just going to ask actually.
okay,
Don't tell her yet. Because I
as
haven't
you
told Iris, Reese, and Catherine, and I kind of want to tell them in person.
She won't tell anybody. Are you kidding?
um Eva and Guild are still at the house. Still kind of hanging out for now. And then they intend to stick around until you get back at least. So they can catch up and everything else. Can't we have the conversation with Kiva because again, it's all audible and you're in a bar. So until you're actually in someplace quiet, it's hard to actually carry on a conversation there with her.
Can I suggest to Elia that the three of them come to Port Oruss and spend the evening?
I mean, they probably could, yeah. Because it's been at least a day since you saw them last there. So, so she Elia's
If
got
she
her.
brings them and then stays the
Yeah.
night, she can get them back again the next day.
Sure. Yeah, they stop in. So kind of I guess slumber party in one of the rooms at the Copperhead Inn.
I'm going to go Grimber's house to sleep.
Also, really, really like the idea of them meeting Addy.
Yeah.
Addy,
Mabel.
not Addy.
Yeah.
Mabel and Perrin and everybody while they're
Sure.
there.
Yeah. So at some point in the evenings, well, yes, we'll kind of rewind a little bit there, and yes, Elia, Kiva, and Gilder arrive at the tavern there. They kind of crowd in for the rest there, and definitely happy to meet there. Mabel and the three of them met Elia before because she's actually been here in the tavern before. The other two they hadn't met. So by the end of the evening, Mabel has commissioned some paintings to be made. For rather handsome price. As Gildor is sort of gonna end up with some more work. Having seen some of his work in progress already. So, and yeah. So, obviously, it's a little odd because they don't know them exactly, but it's all again. Kiva's a very outgoing person, so that kind of gets. And she's actually had a lot of experience with dwarves before, so and speaks Dwarven. So yeah, they kind of all hit it off after no time at all.
I mean, Elia obviously knew about them because of Addy.
Yeah, she knew of them. Yeah.
So it's nice for her to meet them.
Yep. The one thing is, probably the oddest thing of the night there is that Gildor and Perrin have a long conversation in Elven.
Wow. Nice.
Which you never actually heard Perrin string more than a couple of words together, so actually have a conversation, but fully in Elven.
That's cool.
Yep.
Man, it takes forever to speak anything in Elven.
I mean,
that's Treant.
They speak slowly, but no. The Elven tends to run on a lot of extra words. But no, you're not totally wrong.
They just have a better vocabulary than dwarves, that's all.
It doesn't involve doesn't involve a mouthful of marble.
Now he's speaking to Baxi.
Oh no. So anyway, so yes, an evening was had there, and you're able to so you're able to all get a good night's rest. In the morning, as you guys kind of figure out what you're doing there at breakfast, gathering, setting things up. What is the plan? You heading back down to Dreyvier, or anything else you want to do up here first?
We're going to some things to pick up this morning, I think. And then
No, we weren't.
You checked in on it. It's not quite ready yet.
over.
Okay.
And since we're going right back off to adventure, I'll put off what I was going to do.
Okay.
Other things with.
Sure.
Because I was going to set up a bunch of meetings with some tradesmen.
Okay. Yeah, something that definitely can get going there. You can also, if you have anyone in mind for like a business partner kind of thing like that, you can kind of have them start working on things like that and kind of or you can wait till you're back there and want to set all that up when you're done.
Yeah, the only business partner I have is not really a business partner. I guess would be R&R and
Yeah.
then so. But I think I got something going, so we'll
Okay,
go from there.
cool. With that, we'll come back to that down the road.
Yeah.
So then we'll go ahead and jump back to Dreyvier via the university. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're able to do so. Goodbyes all around from folks that you're leaving behind here. And they'll see you again soon, obviously, is the plan at least. And you guys make the jump back to Dreyvier. And upon arrival there and checking in, you'll find out that from General Fornan that he will at least a little bit of information is that there effectively is this little stretch right here between these two rivers. That is the most intense fighting in the war. That's where they have sort of their main force set up. And he does inform that General Goldall is actually the one leading the forward troops there. She's the one sort of at the front essentially, while he's more working on logistics and supplies and planning and troop movements back and forth and everything else. So the bulk of the heaviest fighting right now is actually right there in between those two. So that's good. Perfect. There we go. Cool. So if you want to check in there and figure out where to head next, I think primarily just from what in our planning sessions back and forth here, we know that while they've been holding that the fighting there has been there, we're most worried about flanking forces or any scouts coming by either north or south of that area there. So I would check in with the forces there to find out what their needs are, what scouts they have out there, and what their plans are. Effectively, the whole southern border is have patrols and various groups along here. Although we do know that there's not a lot of fighting directly south on the border here. And at this point, we'll kind of cut to probably they have a war room set there with a map and kind of like the little markers where fighting is there. There's very little fighting down in this way, as that is the border with Gezrek, and the giants seem to be focusing mostly on harassing the goblins over on that side. And there's not much happening up in this area because they're fighting with the sky elves up there, and then fighting with the stone giants over here. So they know that there's conflict happening over there. So how the giants are managing to keep a war going on technically 4 fronts has been they're Fornan is definitely seems to be like, I don't know how they're doing it. It's whatever we can find out about that would be good to know as well.
Have you caught anybody that you can interrogate or no?
That's just it. They're not. It's hard to capture a giant. And they're not leaving any stragglers behind. When they retreat, they take everything with them. Or they send in a larger force to harass anyone that's in the area. So it's a little tricky in terms of making captures. So far, they tend to go. We have not been able to capture any alive, let's just say.
Is that something you want us to do?
if we could, I mean, whatever we can find out. Again, what we'd like you guys to do is rather than getting directly involved in the fighting, is to find out more about their leadership and who's driving them and what sort of resources they have that they're bringing to bear that we aren't seeing. Like we're seeing the fighting at the front lines, but what's happening in the back, none of our scouts have been able to get information. So if you can find that out, that's exactly what we're looking for. So check in with
So get
Golal.
behind enemy lines. Okay.
Or flanking it, or find a place that, effectively, we just need to find some way of gaining this information. So Golal may have ideas, might have ideas of your own. We have not been sending airships over the line there only because they can tend to airships don't hold up well toward when every single member of their troops can act like a catapult.
Fly higher.
They can throw bowlers and they will tear apart any airship that gets too close.
Fly higher.
Well, sure, but then we can't see what's happening down there. It's so hard to there's a range at which you kind of lose detail and information. And we do know they have magical capabilities. We've had fireballs launched in our directions. We've had so we do know they have some sort of magical capability, and the last thing we're certain of is they have some way of bringing people back from the dead, because we've actually had to fight some of the same giants over and over. So
Yeah, that's the one that concerns me the most.
how they're doing that, we don't know. But it's one of the reasons why it's been hard to capture anyone, because they're not leaving any dead behind. They're dragging them off and retreating.
Hmm.
They're also fairly smart. They don't bunch up, so we can't catch multiple ones inside our more offensive capabilities like fireballs and other sap things like that. They tend to not line up in ways. They seem to be fairly smart in that aspect, or solitary maybe. So, anything else for me you need information on?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No.
All right. Well,
Sorry, one thing. What other creatures are there as well as giants?
well, ogres for the most part. I mean, it was just shorter
Okay.
giants. And that's mostly what we've been fighting. They have brought to bear some spellcasters, and they seem to be similar to ogres in size.
Over
Okay.
Magi.
Yeah.
Is there anything medium on their side?
They seem to have conscripted some Goliath. Not many though. Goliath are all fighting on, well, mostly the stone giant sides. Some are back up the sky elves, and there's some kind of in the northern. He kind of points up there. We do have some villages on the border up in here that are Goliath primarily, and they're sort of keeping 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 out of the fight for the most part. But we have seen Goliath among them as well,
Mm-hmm.
which are shorter, skinnier, but also than ogres, but still very strong.
Yeah, but we could use the teaming spell to appear to be Goliaths to potentially maybe even get behind enemy lines that way. I was thinking
That's potential. Yep.
it's a good disguise.
That would
I
be a
will.
good idea.
No. Some reports are some of our invisible scouts have also reported problems. Now I don't know how they're. We have. I mean, some of our scouts go invisible, and
Okay.
they've been able to spot them.
Right.
Not all of
True
them, but I mean they've been spotted, or just see invisible.
Sword doesn't know about that spell.
Well,
Well,
Lucas
you know that I can see invisibility.
Yeah. So Sora has a better chance of knowing see invisible than true sight.
You know that when we were fighting the the dragonkin, the crystal dragonkin, not the crystal, the amethyst.
Emerald.
Some of those were emeralds.
Yep.
Some of those were invisible, and I told you that they were there. So.
I think Lucas cast the invisible at one point, or no? Somebody was able to cast it.
No, I can do it on my.
Invisible. I went invisible. She could see me.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a class feature for sorcerer.
Well, you just got that one though. It was
yeah
recently. So yeah. But anyway, yeah.
I had the spell before then, but I don't need it
right.
now.
That's right. You had the spell. I thought you had the spell before. Yeah. So
yeah.
Yep. So yeah, Fornan, essentially, we are using airships to shuttle back and forth, so they can get you there to the front, to where the forward campment is, in basically a day. If you want to travel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes, we're pretty much shuttling supplies and reinforcements, so we can just send you on that way. Okay. So they will.
That would be the easiest way.
Okay.
Right? Because we can't teleport there, right? Because we've not been there.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have no way of being able to see it to get there. Easy to teleport back though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, so he will direct you down to the docks, and you'll actually note that at least today, as the Dauntless is back, and he directs you to the Dauntless, as they've been using it as mostly troop transport and supplies and everything else. And it is there bobbing in its customary dock that you saw it at before. That's been our primary. Doesn't really need recharge time at all, so she's been really useful in getting things back and forth. Not as quite as mobile as some of the other ships in our fleet. So, but she gets the job done. So, you're directed on board, and the Dauntless is a massive like galleon style, and like the big old like ocean going vessel kind of thing like that. Whereas with the airships that you've traveled on, and with Serenity, of course, they're kind of sleek in design with the extra sails on the side, and they're very much designed to be airships. Where this was just literally a big ship, dark wood across the way, and just a crew on. There's a fairly stripped down crew on board. There's not many actually like worrying about the sails all that much. It's kind of bobbing in the waves there. There are sails, but you kind of get the impression that they're not needed as much as they are on a normal airship. And as you get on board, supplies are loaded there. A crew kind of gets in there. A bunch of troops hop on board. And within maybe a half an hour of you guys arriving, they're getting ready to pull off there. The ship from the water will just suddenly raise up. And you'll see an odd thing. There is not a wheel on the ship. There's no like wheel on the ship there. The pilot, for lack of a better term, is actually sitting on a carpet about the size of yours, Amethyst. And they essentially just kind of sit there, focus on it there, and as they just focus on it, the whole ship rises up directly out of the water and just takes off.
That's cool.
The way this ship moves, and at least some of the crew will kind of give, as you guys kind of heroic types that are going to get involved here. They will let you know that first of all, the ship is made entirely of ironwood, not loftwood. Like it is literally taking an old ship and they just glossed it with ironwood, so it is the hard as steel, but it is not lightweight. What the ship has is The entire interior of the hull is lined with flying carpets. They're all woven together into one massive flying carpet. And threads of the flying carpets are all woven up through to the carpet that the pilot sits on. And so it's literally as if the ship was one humongous flying carpet, able to carry the weight of the ship and everything on board.
That is pretty awesome.
The ship also maneuvers like a flying carpet, so it just banks and goes. There's no wind. It doesn't need wind to the sails. It doesn't need a rudder to turn. It just moves around like a flying carpet there, and just kind of races on there. Never stops. Never slows down. Never is at the mercy of the wind. It just goes at full flying carpet speed,
Awesome.
and gets you from the cap from Dreyvier to the front lines. You kind of move south along the edge of the lake, seeing the city retreat behind you there. You see this large river that sort of like empties into the lake. They kind of take the river, move along the north fork of it, and by the as it takes almost a full day, as it's many hundreds of miles, about 300 miles across there. But by the following morning, you are seeing the troops laid out, kind of in the open space, right along the kind of like where this river curves between where the north part of the river is and the hills. There is a large campment there with temporary tents and shelters, a number of instant fortresses set up there, very similar to the ones that you two have, kind of laid out in various places there. And the ship sort of comes in for a landing, banks and down there, and lands actually in the river nearby there. Things are unloaded. You are essentially allowed heading off there and directed to is obviously a larger tent than the rest of their command tent, where you will meet General Goldall right there.
She's pretty.
I'm really tempted to cast detect thoughts and ask the dude on the carpet, what's the activation word for the entire Dauntless? Because that is so awesome.
It is a, even if you ask, it is a well kept secret, and they are all trained. Actually, we'll just say that the pilot, just for that kind of a secret, there is going to have a ring of mind shielding. You're not going to be able to get into his thoughts.
Okay.
It needs to be a secret that the military would not allow out there.
I only said I was tempted. I didn't say it was
I know.
doing it. I'm not going to mess with the army.
Yeah, not a problem there. She is there just giving orders, talking to various people there. She's obviously very much in command there with some sort of a pole arm on her back there, a glaive of some kind, literally a glowing blue blade there, very fancy armor there. It's hard. She has a bit of an ageless look to her. You can't really tell. She's somewhere between 30 and 50, but you can't tell. She has this like commanding presence about her. And
looking at her face, I'm sorry.
I mean, she is very tall. She is well over 6 foot. Probably about as tall as Thora. Definitely a warrior type person there. And Thora, get a bit of a. You do catch, at least you are trained in religion now. You will see implements of Palor among the there. So likely a devotee of one of the other gods of light.
It looks like she's got lips on her belly. What's that about?
Okay,
that's her cape.
Type that. That's not what I'm.
Not a clue.
That's her cape.
Looks like a
from behind.
Right.
Belly.
No, just right there, underneath where her armor ends.
I don't know. I didn't make this
about
picture,
it.
so let's not worry about that. So
Okay.
yes. But with that, we will get into discussions with her after we come back from break, as it is that time. So we'll be back soon to kind of see where this takes you next. Be back soon. And we're back. So the party has arrived here at the forward military army camp, military camp of Gervon on the southern border, or actually more the southeastern border, and have met General Goldal, General Benin Goldal, the forward commander of the forces. Of the main forces here, and you'll see, based on the tents, kind of quick count here, you're seeing there are literally thousands of soldiers here. They are moving. They're not all like front line right up here, but there's a lot of logistics happening. There's a lot of people moving around here. There's quite a large number of people here, and effectively they have kind of a choke point. You can see that they kind of like people line of people like stretching out to the hills actually over here. So this kind of it's almost like a 5-mile stretch of camp, and you're going to the one of the main camps there where you meet General Goldal, and she's been obviously made aware that you were coming. Like, you are here. Good. I am looking forward to having someone here with a little more competence and a little bit more specialized training. I'll never say my soldiers aren't competent, but it's never going to be a substitute for someone who can do the things that you people can do. Kind of like sizes you all up and down real quickly here, and just has that sort of like efficient military, like just you like, kind of get the impression that Sora, this person is like when you size up a combatant, it's like that, but it's just like taking in everything, just like this quick once over all of you. You can see her eyes kind of like focusing on weapons, focusing on gear, focusing on and like almost like she has a pretty good sense of what all 5 of you are like, at least within a couple of moments of meeting you. There you go. So
Sizing us up already, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
It's well, good. Glad to have you here. We have the front here pretty well contained. There's a matter of an almost never-ending wave of giants assailing the position there. We're driving them back mostly with ballista fire, spells, and long arms, pole arms, crossbows, arrows, you name it. We have everything. Keep them at bay. Our issue is having our forces mostly to the south to deal with any flanking type forces. So what we need most of is intelligence. We don't have a way to find out who's commanding these folks, who's sending them our way, who's equipping them, healing them, all of that. So my hope is that you can succeed where other less talented scouts have failed. And if there's anything you can do to disrupt some of their forces, not focused here, that will obviously help us push into their territory and disrupt them further here. She will point out here we've had a recent altercation to the south, almost on the opposite side of the hills near the south fork of the river here. Kind of points to a spot on the map. There was a small dust up. We managed to take out a number of giants, but the wounded were too much and they were forced to retreat. We've had a report that they're there, but we found that any battle sites like that, they will send in teams to recover their fallen. So, if you could at least start there, see what you can find at the battlefield, see if you can find troop movements, see what you can discover. That might be a place to start at least. I believe your talents will be wasted here at the front. So, if you can do a little bit of an end around and find out exactly what they're doing and who is commanding them, that would be extremely helpful to us. Oh, one thing. Yes, and she calls to an orderly there, and they bring out a a box about yay big, about kind of a square box about 4 inches by 8 inches. And you open it up there, and there's just a plain looking. Well, it is just a straight up like bar of metal, and it has obviously a accumulator at one end, and a wrapped piece of copper, almost copper foil on the end there, and a space to hold on to it. A banishing rod. I was told that this would be something for you. And effectively, it is 2 charges, essentially. Well, it's actually a total of 8 charges, but it costs 4 to cast the spell. So this was told to be set aside for your use in case there's summoned creatures or anything else, but effective with dealing with anything. If we see something extremely dangerous, we tend to try to banish it for a time and then set up an ambush point when they return. Essentially, they are gone for a minute and come back to focused fire.
That's a good idea.
It's been very effective. They have sent a few summoned creatures at us. Some strange things, maybe demonic, fiendish in origin, have joined in some of the fights, but not in any large numbers. The banishing rod's been very good for those. There was also one incident, and she kind of points to a spot on the map that's marked in red, right here, kind of right where this little dot in the hills are, right up here, about 35, 40 miles north of their point right now. A large heir opened, and a number of fire elementals spilled out and started setting off, well, wildfires. And along the hillside there, the banishing rods were very helpful toward putting that away. So that's the only incident we've seen of that so far, but we've heard other reports in other places of something similar. It's disconcerting, but it seems to be somewhat unrelated. As it was not being directed, there was no giant forces in the area. We just saw smoke and investigated to find fire elementals rampaging the hillsides. So this may be helpful if you encounter anything of that nature as well.
What about the chain devil?
That monster. Anytime he joins the fight, we are in for casualties. Or at the very least, severe wounds among our forces. That is one that if he is spotted, we immediately reinforce, fall back, and just rain down every bit of long-range fire we can to drive him away. Anytime he's involved in a fight there, it's not good. He's not been with the forward forces consistently, though. He seems to be moving around, traveling. We have some scouts, some reports coming in from our allies to the east, the elves, the sky elves here, and the stone giants here. She kind of points on the map there. These places there seem to be fighting there as well. And from some other reports we've seen from them, that he's been spotted fighting there as well.
He's got some way of moving around quickly.
Seems that way. Or someone can move him around quickly.
Okay.
If it's not his capability, you may have allies to be able to do so.
I think he's one of our main concerns. We do hope to take him out of the equation.
That would be amazing, as that would definitely help turn the tide of the fighting, because he is an absolute menace.
Mhm.
Well, is there anything else you need from us? Any information, any supplies, anything else? Or
How tall are giants? Are we fighting hill giants and stone giants?
hill giants primarily. So hill giants are roughly 12 to 14 feet tall. Average around 12 feet tall. So about double your height for the most part there. Ogres are pushing 9 to 10 feet tall. Yeah, triple yours. Yeah. So that's roughly, yeah. So everything on the battlefield is going to be anywhere 9 feet and up. Goliaths tend to be around 7-ish feet tall on average. A little more, a little less, depending on if they're involved. But that's occasionally we spot some hill giants who are a little bit larger and bulkier. They tend to be in charge, but they are still just as fast and brutal and awful as their skinnier counterparts. Any other questions or anything else you have?
Do you have any armies that we should know about flirting around in the background behind the enemy lines?
No, we have not sent anyone behind enemy lines. The only time we tried to do that, they have been lost. Almost entirely lost.
So there could be people back there, they're just surviving.
It would be a miracle if they did. They have not reported in. They have not been spotted, or they have not reached us back there. After our first 2 attempts, we've prevented that from happening. We stopped sending groups that way. We are trying to just push in. What was that?
Will they have any identifying paperwork to prove that?
Well, they're humans for the most part. They're not giants. You'll see army insignia as well, and so it kind of points to kind of the colors and emblems and stuff that are on the army there. They likely have that. No, we've never seen them use any sort of smaller folk in their fighting. There are some Goliath that have been spotted among them, but very few compared to the others. Quite a few ogres. Way too many hill giants.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is their homeland from all of our reports. But why they're attacking incessantly, we do not know.
Well, because I'm assuming if they can respawn them at any time, eventually we'll run out of people.
That is the issue. We are starting to feel the effects ourselves. We're dug in as much as we can here and preventing them from spilling in this way. They seem to be fine with funneling us here, but we do have some forces patrolling along the southern border just to kind of keep them from crossing over that way. But they seem to be more content to just throw themselves at this point here. Hammer on the anvil.
There must be something. There must be something making them do it. What are they after?
I don't know. That's something that, if you can find that out and maybe remove that influence, that would be that would turn the tide of this fighting.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed any rifts opening in the area?
Set fire one to the north.
Apart from that one.
No others. Nothing we've seen on the front lines, at least.
Okay, good.
All right.
What
Well,
time of day is it? Is it in the morning?
early. You guys got in pretty much. You got in. You left in the morning from Dreyvier. You got in the next morning here, so it's still morning. Probably at this point about 10 o'clock. Lots of daylight left. It is warmer here, a little drier than in inland, than closer around the lake and everything else. It is kind of high grasslands, the steppes, and so there's a lot of kind of rocky hills that you see along the borderline there. It's just like scrubland, grassland, rocky. But you see a little bit looking out of the horizon there. There's a lot of large rock outcroppings and what seems to be large boulders. Um, Hard to tell exact scale what you're looking at there, but they're visible even so. There's just this scattering of rocks and scrubby trees and large tall grasses. So
So
to the
did we
south
get?
then? No, go ahead.
I was going to say, did we get a long rest on the way then?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you had a full day on the ship, so yeah, you had time to rest and get all prepared. So you should be at full strength now. Says the battlefield's about a good moving at a decent march. You can get there in probably 6 to 8 hours, roughly, depending on how fast you can travel. I don't know what your capabilities are, but a good forced march will get you there in about 6 to 8, depending on the slowest traveling among you. Chikara points it out there. It's roughly about just on the other side of the hills, across from the river, the southern fork in the river. I would recommend traveling on this side on the western side of the hills first, and then crossing over at the river. It should be there's a number of ways to kind of move across the hills over there.
Do you have any way of going across silently? Making
Um,
it easier for us to cross without making a lot of noise?
Not that we have specifically. Unfortunately, some of our scouts that had capability have been lost, so we've actually
Mm,
not had the capability currently.
okay.
It doesn't mean that there's um um one moment. And she'll go out there and she'll come back there with a scroll of Pass Without Trace. 2 of them, in fact. This will
Are you
help with some.
smarter for?
This will help with some stealth. You move quietly and blend in a little bit easier. We do have this for some of our. It's a temporary measure, but at least will help with your trying to move in on a secure campsite or a place where there might be hostiles in the area that you spotted.
Awesome. Because reminding the party that Sora's not so stealthy anymore.
Yep. So yeah, that was it for an hour. It gives you plus 10 to stealth, as long as you're within range of the spell.
You might as well say goodbye to Grandpa now because you're not going to see him for an hour.
Pretty much. Yeah, between move silently and invisible and pass that trace, you'll never
Yeah.
ever see Graham.
With another plus 10 on his stealth, we just won't see him.
Yeah. Yeah. Reliable talent means the lowest you could possibly get is a 21.
Well, Grimbar wasn't who I was thinking about when I was thinking about getting it,
I know.
because
Sure you
Sora
were.
makes lots of noise.
Yes. Yep. So,
Which of us? I was going to say, which of us can go invisible?
Well, they've got a way to see invisible. We've already been told.
Which of us can go invisible was the question.
Grim and you, I think.
can for an hour. I don't have greater invisibility, but I can go invisible
Mhm.
for an hour.
Just the 2 of us then.
Yeah.
Yep.
You and me. Who else do we meet?
I think S can
You
when
blow them up, and
S
then I
joins
go and
us.
kill them afterwards. You soften them up, and I finish them off.
I think Ask has some stealth capability as well. I'm not sure if it's invisibility, but I know he has stealth capability.
Mm-hmm.
Decent stealth. All right. Well, in that case, she will wish you the best of luck in any information that you can send to her way, and anything you can do to help the situation in whatever way you can. She's very appreciative.
I'm assuming we're gonna send messages through sending stones or the spell message, because going in behind enemy lines and coming back out and then going back in is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
You can keep in touch with her.
It's a good thing we have those sending rods too.
Yep. Yes, you have a sending rod. Lucas has the orb of communication. Various, you have the sending stones. You have lots of ways of keeping in touch.
And the spell.
The spell as well. So yeah.
We have to be next to each other for that spell, by the way.
Which one? Pass out trace.
We have to be within X amount of feet when the spell's cast, and then after that, I don't think we have to be.
Let's double check because they gave it to you. So let's make sure.
Not this pass without.
It lasts for 1 hour.
Mhm.
I'd say with.
I'm not talking pass without trace. I'm talking psionic.
I can't hear what.
Hotline.
Oh, telepathic. That once it's cast, it lasts for. You don't need to stay in close.
That's what I was asking.
Telepathic bond. You can just stay.
Yeah.
Oh, as long as you're on the same plane of existence.
Yep.
You could be on the opposite side of the universe, and then it's still.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yep.
The world.
Yep.
But
Yeah. So
without trace lasts for an hour.
it lasts for an hour. You have to be within 30 feet of the person casting it. You'll be on 30 feet. You'll lose the bonus. So it's kind of an area effect around the person casting it.
Okay.
So you cannot.
Doesn't pass without trace only last for a minute, not an hour.
No, it lasts for an hour. I'm looking at it right now. It lasts for an hour.
It lasts for an hour.
Yeah. Lasts for 1 hour and gives you everyone plus 10 to stealth. And it can't be trapped by magical means either. Remember as well. So, you will be able to head on south. We zoom in a little bit. You can kind of see a little spot she has. I'm going to put a little mark there on the map. Right around there. I'm putting it red instead. It's a little easier to see. Oops. Come on now. Right about there. Roughly.
Jim, I've rearranged my spells. Just so
Okay,
you're
good.
aware.
Yep. Why is it not saying?
See it. Let me refresh.
Okay. Map is being done right now. It's okay. No worries. Anyway, yes, right about there. So, you move on, kind of keeping the hills to your left as you kind of move along there. You can kind of see in the distance there. There's from the hillside, there's you can kind of see the water kind of tumbling down from natural springs and such in these hills, kind of moving the river kind of traveling toward the west. You can kind of see where the origin of the water is coming from the hilltops and various places along the hillside there. In fact, it's almost like there's a number of like multiple points that are just waterfalls spraying down. They kind of all tumbling down into one large river basin there that then kind of continues west. So you can kind of see it's a very easy spot landmark there, and so nothing seems to be a problem along the hillside there. It's very barren. There's not a lot of animals in the hills along here. It seems all the fighting and troops have scared off most normal animals that are here. But you do see like Usually, the only you spot are birds flying around. There's a number of birds flying around here, but I don't see a lot of ground animals moving along there. At least nothing large enough to really spot from a distance. You get to where the waterfalls are, and there are a number of ways you can kind of go up the hills, kind of switchbacks and crags and things you can kind of find your way. Um, and by the time you're roughly it was about 10 o'clock, uh, about 4 or 5 o'clock or so, you find yourself at the top of the hill, kind of looking out over this expanse. It is just mostly flat grasslands, almost as far as you can see. You can see a very large river off in the distance there, kind of winding its way across these grasslands. There's large, kind of chunky rock outcroppings, various large, what looks to be boulders. Like it's hard to say, it's hard to tell scale, but they've got to be bigger than a wagon, maybe bigger than a building. Some of these things, there's these large, like just like freestanding rocks out there that are just kind of out in the space there. Um, uh, Give me perception checks to see what you can spot from this vantage point here.
First roll of the night, y'all.
Yeah, it's like excellent. Awesome, Zara. Ooh, pretty.
That's normal rolls for sure. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. We'll just do one. This is a D20 for Esk. Esk sees nothing. The little legs have been kind of climbing up the hillside. It's also a little hotter and drier than he's used to down here. So he's doing fine, but he's also every step of yours he's able to do too up the side of this hill. But Amethyst and Grim, you will spot kind of like in the distance. It's fairly clear. The air is clear here. There's just a few clouds in the sky there. You will spot some distant bits of smoke. Not close. I mean, you're talking like miles away, like quite a long way. Just off in the distance there, you'll see kind of a little bit of plumes of smoke coming up from various areas there. Kind of one roughly, because you're right about here. It seems to be somewhere on the other side of the river, kind of down this way somewhere. Another fairly large plume of smoke somewhere on the other side of the river, up on the hillsides over here. But you can't make out any details from here. Just kind of columns of smoke, maybe from like settlements of some kind.
Well,
But you can't.
At that distance, that'd probably be barely on the horizon.
Yeah. Essentially, you can kind of see. Only way you can tell because again, the sky is clear. There's not much in the way of in there. And you can just barely see kind of. You see that they're both beyond this closer river here. But with a 21 Grim, closer up there, you kind of pick out the area where you think on the map the battlefield would have taken place. You can't see specific bodies, or you can't see like signs of fighting from this distance here, but you kind of pick out the general terrain and the area there where it was described that you described to you in terms of the fighting.
And I'll pass that on.
Yeah,
everybody.
Okay. So you're able to kind of move on down that way. Kind of picking your way down through the trail, the kind of the trails on this side, and you don't see any movement. You don't see any specific, you don't see any specific um, people or animals or anything else until you're near the baseline, and you will probably a good couple of miles away at this point. You'll spot your first giant. at first you're kind of like, what am I seeing there? And among the larger kind of like rocks, you'll see a a figure moving. Again, hard to tell scale, but this thing is kind of just like ponderously moving along among some rocks a couple of miles off that you can spot.
So I'm going to test something, and I
Yeah.
know it's only 30 foot, but can I
Mhm.
feel that big some gun with my tremor sensor? No, that far out.
No, it's a little too far away for that.
All right.
Again,
And I'm just
there's
kind
a
of keeping an eye on it. I'm
Mhm.
trying to get my things with it. So
Yep.
all right, because he's gonna cause more of a boom than most of it.
Yep.
Okay.
So as again,
And
we'll call
I'll
it.
let everybody know.
Yep, we call it. So you kind of spot off to the side there, kind of ways there where you can see that there are some large humanoid figures moving around. As you approach slowly, they don't seem to be aware of your presence. You have a number of rocks to kind of move your way through this, and some tall grass. So you're not like just wide totally out in the open. And slowly approach there.
I'm gonna
As
pull
you,
up to everybody.
yep.
And I'm gonna ask them. I says, "Do you want to try to take one of the lower guys, the Goliaths? Maybe try to capture a Goliath?
Mm. I mean, we
Do you see
could,
that
but I don't
chance?"
know how much information they would have.
Well, they're the meat probably. They're probably the labor force for the giants. They might know where their main camps are, stuff like
What you saw, the Goliath were kind of being used as slave labor and fodder, whereas the ogres are sort of the ones that kind of the grunts. Because the Goliaths are primarily stone giant runts and don't live among the hill giants typically. So they've been kind of captured and enslaved at this point. Um, so, but as you do start to approach there, you get within about, so you're sort of about a couple miles off. Getting close there, do you want to take precautions and move stealthily along this way, along this approach?
that. What do you want guys want to do?
Um, we
Want to
should
go
move
find out
stealthily
what I can
along
find
here,
out?
but I mean, yeah, go do it. Because Sword's just gonna get super loud.
Not if you use pass without trace.
Right, but do we want to use it now or do we want to wait to use it?
You can cover 2 miles in less than an hour for sure. So remember, the spell lasts for an hour. So
Or do you want to save it for something else, or just let me go find out what I can, and then we can decide from there? I don't know what you
Yeah,
guys want.
I don't like the idea of you going by yourself, but I think that's probably a best course. Let you do what you do best.
At least we need to at least go behind there and follow him. I don't think he should go on his own. We'll have to capture him.
Nah, I think the likelihood of them seeing him is going to be pretty low. Why don't we go let him do what he does best? We'll follow behind, but not like too close behind.
Well, let's get telepathic bond going then. At least keep in
Yep.
touch.
Mm-hmm.
all right. Well,
If
Grim?
we're gonna, so I'm gonna say if we can spend a bit of time preparing, I will give an inspiring speech.
You've had time along the way. That's fine. You can set that up. That's fine.
What is that now? 20?
21 temporary hit points.
21? Nice.
Just my age.
The age you act.
Not even.
Yeesh.
No, I can't. I would want to cast that too, but I'm gonna save that for right now.
What does Grimbar think? Does he want to go on his own or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be better for me to do it. Besides, I've been wanting to do my thief thing for a while, but yeah, I think
Okay.
I do not have a problem doing it.
Okay.
I will not do something that's going to get myself killed. I promise you that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, in that case, go ahead and what? So, what do you activate? You activate invisibility. What's your plan here? Just
Not
gonna be
yet.
stealthy and
Not
sneaky
yet.
in the grass. Okay.
I'm just gonna be sneaky. I've got my silent shoes. I've got all of that. I'm gonna hide in shadows, and I'm gonna
Well,
stealth all up
it's
in
still
there.
daylight,
And
so there's not much in the way of shadows here, and you're running through rocky grassland. So,
okay, rocky grassland is gonna work into my favor because then I'm only 4'10", and I'll keep down low into the grass, and I'll
right.
just kind of do the
But the
best I
grass is
can.
going to show your movement.
All right.
I just point out it's like, yeah. So,
And
I
if I'm
mean,
invisible, it's still gonna show my move.
true. This is true. Yep.
So
Right.
I'm just gonna
Doesn't pass
ease
without
my way
trace
through 'em.
mean that he doesn't leave tracks, though?
He is not going to have a pass without
We're
trace, though. He's moving ahead of you guys.
we're not
He's moving ahead
we're
of you
not gonna
guys,
do that right now.
unless he casts pass without trace.
I can't.
We have a scroll. We have two.
Yeah. Do we
But
need to
like,
stay together for that?
no, he can go do his thing, and then when he feels uncomfortable, we can come up and help him, or if he gets captured, one of the two. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you can cover. I mean, you're fit. You're fit.
When I get within about 3/4 of a mile, then
Okay.
I might cast the invisibility.
Okay. So, we'll call it. I mean, 3/4 of. So basically, 1.25 miles. It'll take you roughly, moving stealthily, slowly, picking your way carefully, but about a half an hour. Just, I mean, obviously,
Okay.
you could cover that distance if you were just like trucking it, no problem. A lot faster than that, but in terms of like moving slow, keeping to the ground, watching for any movement or anything else. As you approach, you will definitely spot the fact that there are a few hill giants and a number of ogres. Hard to get an exact count again because there's large rocks they're kind of moving behind and moving around, and they seem to be uh what you can kind of spot there is they seem to be sort of gathering, like kind of hunched over, picking things up, pulling, like bringing things together there. You're not sure what they're doing exactly just yet. But they seem to be working on something, picking things up, like sorting through things, gathering things up.
Is there a high ground I could possibly get closer to them, like
Um,
a large
yeah, you could
stone
probably
or
get into
something?
get up into a larger rock that you can kind of see a little bit different there. Um,
Yeah. Once I
so give
get
me this.
closer,
So give me a stealth check and a perception check, just as you kind of move into position and get a vantage point.
stealth check.
You're about 3/4 of a mile now. Oh wow. Okay. You're not going to spot you, that's for sure.
Perception.
Good. Wow. Okay. Excellent. So you will kind of clamber up the side of a very large rock, and kind of get a good vantage point there. And you will see it seems to be from your vantage point now, they are gathering up bodies. They are like, and they seem to be bodies of giants and ogres like themselves. They're
Okay.
kind of dragging them out to a spot, to kind of dragging them all to kind of one spot. Um, you'll from your vantage point, you will see that there are 4 hill giants and 6 ogres.
Okay. So just so I don't have to repeat all of that, I
Yeah,
am saying this in the
yeah.
telepathic link as I see it. So go ahead.
Um, and I'll give you the. Let me show you what you're seeing. One sec here. Let me just do one thing real quick. Oh no, no 7 ogres. There's part of the 7th one. And yeah, 4 hill giants. And I will go ahead and okay, so let's move you over to the map. Okay. So you are essentially up to the northeast of the map here, northwest of the map here. So kind of up this side over here. And you can see, yes, there are hill giants kind of moving, shifting around, and they seem to be gathering all of the bodies to a spot. Let me just go ahead and do that. Right about here. for the kind of in the middle of the whole thing, kind of gathering in this big old space over here. I'll make it a little bit cleaner so it's not quite so ugly. Kind of there. You see, like drawing, like gathering them in there, kind of putting them into a pile here. With a 30 perception there, you see probably a good 2 hill giants and probably another 4 or 5 ogres in the pile.
I point that out, and I said, they're making it convenient. We can burn them. I mean, that might be a nice little bonfire we can send them off with. So and I'll ask. I said, if we burn them, can they be brought back?
If we burn them, can they be brought back? I don't think so.
If you burn them to ash, not without a resurrection spell. If you just char the bodies, they could be. Depending on how long they've been dead.
Spread out over a large area.
Yep. So yeah, you are about 3/4 of a mile this way on a high vantage point there, seeing, and they're not hard to see. It's easy to tell the difference between them. Obviously, the giants are a good 4.5, 5 feet taller than the ogres. So that's easy. What you want to do?
We got 7 ogres, 4 hills.
Let's be a little louder.
I said we have 7 ogres, and you said 7, but there's only 6 on the board.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Yes, sorry. There it is. I miscounted. One of them was hidden and was moving, so yeah, it showed up.
I'll let them know where I'm at, and if they want to try to come up to where I'm at, and then we can decide what we want to do.
Yeah, we should move up to where he's at.
Okay. So
should we cast Path Without a Trace, or are we gonna hope Sword doesn't fail all of her saves?
Well, we're 3/4 of a mile out. You're not gonna make so much noise that they hear you, but and I'll look behind. I mean, is there, I'll just keep looking and see if there's anything there. I mean,
yeah, it's
wasn't
probably
anything
4th.
there while we.
I mean, you can see them. If you don't take any precautions, they can spot you. I mean, you're
Are the ogres set up as in a?
No, they're all just walking back and forth. They're not
really
guarding
anybody. There's nobody out there guarding, standing guard.
Not really. Occasionally they will pause and kind of look around, but they aren't like watching for anything right now. They're literally they're all sort of working. They'll pause, look off in a direction. Like they're all kind of like literally kind of taking turns moving around here. You'll see that the one from down here will actually drag a 3rd hill giant body to the pile from somewhere to the south.
All right, so we're gonna start moving up then.
Yep, go for it.
Yep.
Right. So pass that trace.
I think so.
Okay.
Amethyst? Yeah. Lucas, do you need it? Or are you gonna go like invisible and do your thing?
Who's ever
on yourself, anyone within 30 feet of you gets the same effect. It's all
right
if we stay together.
Boots still.
What's that?
Does she still have flying boots?
It only lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, but yet Sora does have flying boots.
I do, yeah.
All
right. My flying boots.
Is it 10 minutes or 1 minute?
Boots are flying. Either way, it wouldn't last until we got there.
Right. Yeah.
So let's. I guess I'll cast it.
Okay. So go ahead and get the three of you. I won't count Ask right now because Ask is going to kind of go low and stay. Keep an eye out on things. Go ahead and give me stealth checks. The three of you with +10. $30 for Lucas.
Stealth.
33 for Amethyst. And a 13 for Sora. Okay.
It rolled off of 13.
Yes. So, looking at their passives are not high, so they're not like, since they're not like no one's like looking in your direction specifically here. And with the average of the three of you being like in the upper 20s, we'll go. You kind of like Sora. At some point, you kind of have to pause and just duck down, because you kind of like kick something and then just kind of freeze and get out of the way. You all pause for a moment, make sure nothing's looking your way. So that 2 miles or so to get to where he is will take you about 20. We'll call it a half hour. So you have a half the spell left here. Again, kind of moving slowly, keeping an eye, watching things there.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys, they're essentially they're kind of like are really done gathering and kind of spread out there. Some of them sit down or start munching on some food of some kind. Some will start these two giants will start throwing something back and forth. Not sure what it is. Just like literally they're throwing something back and forth at each other. Probably a rock by the look of it. They're the size, but they're just kind of tossing something back and forth to each other. Grim, you're watching for a bit, and as you're watching, you will see another ogre walk out to the pile. And this one is cloaked and looks distinct from the other ogres. And you see him sort of walk up to the pile and just sort of like kind of wave his hands over, and as the wind will kind of blow back the cloak, he's got a bluish colored skin instead of the ruddy like earth like brown tan skin of the others over there, kind of bluish skin there, and you can see him sort of waving his hands over there, gesturing over the over the pile of bodies and stuff. And nothing seems to happen immediately, but there's definitely something he's doing over this group of bodies here.
Where are we coming up on the map, Jim? On the south?
You'll be coming up from this side up here.
Okay.
So top left. Well, unless you want to circle around to the south or whatever else, it's fine. You could definitely like it wouldn't hurt you to come down this way if you wanted to come from a different direction.
Wouldn't.
So you can.
But I'm gonna tell him. I said that looks like one of those ogre magi's, the ones that, or the whatever they were, is the caster. He's a caster of some sort.
He's definitely casting a spell of some kind. There's something he's doing something
over the dead. So we need to get to him as quickly as possible. And I can't fly. So,
well, so you know what you know now. You are about 3/4 of a mile away. It's about 4,000 feet, roughly. So you know it's out of range of anything you want to do currently, but you can start moving in, and getting closer.
Can we telepathically talk about moving down here further? Because I think that would be better positioning for us.
Well, we're gonna have to fight our way to him, aren't we?
Yeah.
But my thinking is like drop mental prison on him or something, and then like just throw him in the portable hole.
He's throwing other things in a hole, right? I might as well put him in a hole.
I mean,
Well,
Either way, this is going to be a tough fight. We're
yeah.
I will say one
Um,
thing, Grim. It's hard to say. One of the ogres from up here wanders down that direction they're talking about coming in here, and you kind of lose sight of him around these rocks. You don't know what he's doing. You can see he's looking down at he's looking down at the ground though. You will spot that because you rolled a 30 for perception there, so you're watching this very carefully, kind of keeping tabs on where everyone is here, and so this one kind of moves out of view around the rocks to the south there. You kind of lose sight of him, but he's obviously looking down at the ground, kind of look like he's scanning the ground for something or other.
okay. Let him know that.
Okay. Yep.
He's looking for something, and then he disappeared.
He's just again just when
and I let him know.
Yeah.
I'll let him know. I'll give
there's
him,
one around that
I'll give
direction
him
there.
the,
Yeah.
Yeah. The bigger rock and the two small
Yep.
rocks there.
It's a bit far away, but you can kind of see because it's not hard to. These two that throwing a rock back and forth. This one just kind of plunks himself down on the ground and puts his back up against this rock and is just kind of sitting there.
This one?
Just yeah, he's literally sitting on the ground with his back against this big rock, kind of leaning his head back a little bit, maybe taking a nap. You're not sure. He's sitting still though for now.
And these are 5-foot squares?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So I wanna. We're gonna get into this battle, but I prefer for us to be on this side.
So go ahead and give me a those of you moving there. Give me a stealth check first round, kind of as you kind of get within from a 3/4 to a half a mile.
Don't screw me over.
28,
Of course you would.
34, and the natural 1. Okay, yeah, Grim, you're
Oh,
sitting still. You
poor-
don't need to roll again. Yep.
Hey, at least
You-
I'm not rolling at disadvantage.
Exactly. You don't have disadvantage anymore. So your rolls today have been a 3, 3, and a 1 so far. That's great.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
pretty sure even with the
Jinxed it by saying the
disadvantage, you
first one
couldn't
for
get
the
any
night.
lower than that.
So, however, essentially, Sora, what'll end up happening is, as you are moving along, and you guys are kind of like heading from like kind of north to south, kind of moving away there, kind of angling out this way. These guys up here are actually looking off in that direction. These two over here, and like talking to each other, and and at one point, the hill giant who's got a higher vantage point, what's that? You kind of just can't quite hear him, but I mean, you kind of like perks up there, looks up in your direction, um, as he is there. You kind of freeze for a moment, and then re-roll that to see if you can recover while he's like looking off in that direction. And pass
Reroll
that
it to
trace.
see.
Yep. You,
There we
other
go.
two are fine. Okay, so yeah, so you literally kind of like you see them as they kind of both turn your direction there, as you're just like standing wide open looking at them. You drop to the ground flat and just land in the grass and just stop moving for a moment. The two of you rolled high enough there, and Grim from your
Well,
vantage
we
point
are.
there, you kind of see that. Um, and they sort of looking out there, kind of, and kind of like looking back at each other, looking out there, kind of kind of pointing out there, kind of in that vague direction of where Sora was. And they eventually shrug and turn back to watch whatever this guy's doing down here. So you're about a half mile off now.
So we're not coming in together.
Are you going to leave your vantage point and go follow them? Well, you can spot where they are, so you kind of know where they're going in your mental contact. So what do you want to do, Grim? You can kind of see where they're at.
I want to keep up with them because I'm not going to stay out there and be a
Okay.
3/4 of a mile out when the fight starts because I can't help.
Right. Okay. So you want to catch up to them and go the direction? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, with your stealth check, yeah, again, you kind of like you see what happens. You watch there. You kind of freeze for a moment there, watch this all take place, and then kind of move along a little quicker because you can, and catch up to them as they're kind of heading down. They're roughly about halfway down here off the side now. So you can either kind of turn and charge this direction or continue one more round of stealth checks to go go down to the south. All four of you this time.
I think that's up to you guys. I don't know that I trust my rolls to get us stealthily down to that where I wanted to be.
All right, we can
So
come
we
in
can
this side.
attempt it or go in right where we're at.
I say we roll the things, come in here to this side, but do it stealthily, and maybe we can get a surprise round on them.
We
Okay.
can try. Let's go.
Okay, we'll make your rolls.
What do you guys think? Bernie, Rob, what do you think? Amethyst, Lucas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Give me
Going
those
in
rolls.
here.
What? What?
What?
What?
Stealthy rolls. Got it.
That's a 34 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
My goodness.
Now who else is going to roll one?
You didn't see Sora roll it.
Okay, good. So y'all will roll up. So eventually you kind of get this rock between you and them, and so you kind of and you do find yourselves coming down around where you can now see this vantage point down here. And this guy, when you see him now from the angle of the vantage point you're at now, he's literally kind of on, like hunched over on the ground, looking there, kind of picking at the dirt, kind of like he's like kind of looking for, like looks like he's looking for tracks. You've seen rangers do this before. This guy's looking for tracks. He's actually focused on the ground. They're kind of picking through things, like scanning the ground, like looking back and forth. And he wanders off this way a little bit there. At one point, he shouts, "Hey, I think I found something over here." And this guy will kind of start to wander off that direction or to look there. So you can kind of see these two guys not looking at you at all. Like this guy's looking down at the ground. This guy's looking at him. They are not aware of your presence. You get yourselves within, we'll call it 100 feet. So within a couple of rounds of charging in or throwing long range spells.
Are we up above this rock here?
No, you are down here now.
We are down here now.
Yes.
Okay.
Coming in and this kind of between these two rocks down here, you have this kind of space to move in over here.
Are we putting ourselves on the map now?
You are off the map, still about like a full move away.
Mhm.
You have range, long range stuff to do, but yeah, it will take a full round of movement to get to the edge of the map.
All right. If we're gonna do a full round of movement, it means I can take an action, right?
No, I mean a full round of movement, as in move, action,
okay.
and dash,
Okay.
like move and dash.
Well, then I will do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to cast fly on myself.
Okay. So, all right. So Lucas casts fly.
Did you use the belt? Yeah.
I'm activating the belt right now.
Cool.
Good.
So, yeah. All right.
That was the action I was going to take, but
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Jim said
you
run.
hit- you
I said
you
cast.
have actions to do as you're approaching. Yes. You have
Yeah.
you've had multiple actions to do as you're kind of sneaking along the way here. So you've done at any point going forward. It's just this first movement of like you can either double move and get on the map, or just stay on the edge of a little off the map and cast spells and do other things from range. Because you want to cast fly before you do this round of actions. It's fine too.
Yeah.
Anything you want to cast in with this on the way on the approach?
I'm just going to activate my carpet flying.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, with that movement, you'll be able to get to you will get to the end of the map there and be and have an action. If you want to put yourself on the edge of the map and have an action, go for it.
I'm wondering if there's anything that's invisible here, but I guess we'll just deal with the visible things for now.
And if you want to activate on the way in, you can do that. You have plenty of time to do that on the approach. And it lasts for an hour, so you're okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Go for it. Yes.
Just in case. It's always good to know, isn't it? I think it only lasts for 10 minutes. So.
Well, again, plenty of time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Put yourself on the map where you want to be.
Have you got a nicer map? I don't want to be on this one. Can I have a nicer map?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, good.
Oh, look, snuggle up, everybody.
Yeah, you just crowd right up there on things that throw large rocks at things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bugger off.
Okay. All right.
Grim,
And Grim, where do you want to put yourself there in terms of I mean, you have move dash and bonus action dash. You want to get so you can get on the map too, wherever you want to be.
can I get down here without getting seen?
Yeah, I mean, anywhere on that side of the map, you can come in. That's fine. I mean, you made your approach. You are there. So,
yeah, I'm gonna get there.
Okay. All right. That's good enough. So, again, you got to there. Let's go ahead and put up initiatives here. One step, you don't roll anything just yet. Wait. Make sure the turn order is clear. Because it does like to do this to me. Okay, go for it. Go for initiatives. Okay. All right.
Up there.
Okay. All right. Focus your initiative to someplace to actually go after Sora. That's when you would change your initiative. So essentially, I can say, I want to hold an attack. I move. Then if it happens, and that guy moves, you can then trigger your reaction to fire off the attack. That's kind of how that works there.
I am going to do that. I'm gonna hold it to a specific thing until Sora does what she's gonna do.
Okay. So
I don't want to hold everybody to, because if I attack somebody.
Okay. Well. Okay. That works. Okay. So.
I probably will shoot him, just for the simple fact that it'll draw him away from her. You know, we have the little one to think about now. So.
Lucas.
That should be the parameter of everything.
Yep. So, this guy here, is kind of like pauses for a moment there, looks around, and sees you. This guy here does see you, and you're the only one he can see currently, because everybody else is. Actually, no, he can see Amethyst, because that's you're not behind the rock. You're just literally like he's. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, Amethyst. 4, 5, 6, Lucas. 5, 6, Lucas. Okay. So he will kind of look up at you, and you can see him just sort of like immediately, and a little bit of flame shoots up in his hand there, and he fires a firebolt at you. Yeah, just a straight up firebolt. Not a big deal. But 16 to hit?
Nope.
Nope. Just you kind of like see it coming there, and kind of as the bolt goes flying past you. All right. There we go. That is his action, but he will call it out, just kind of like. And who speaks giant here? Sora? Anyone speak giant?
Staying alive.
Not likely. So, anything else? Movement or bonus?
I'm gonna try and get a bit of cover from, like, go maybe behind the rock a little bit. Can't really do that without going off the map, but
Sure. Okay. So you gotta push around the cover. Okay, that's fine. Alrighty.
I know somebody might see me, but I want a bit of cover at least.
Okay, the ogres, they're all looking back over at this guy who's now stuck in place. Let me make some perception checks and see if they can see anything of what's happening.
Is for fire, I think. Question
Okay.
mark?
My
No.
God.
Yes.
Actually made it. So this guy here, fire. Okay, so take half and get scorched and go. Oh!
Blink. I'm gonna go blink.
And then yep, you're gonna. Okay, come on now.
I'm going to.
Your shot with advantage on that guy. Go for it.
Action. Attack. That's going to be my dragon wing short bow. Damage. Fire. 26.
Yeah, I can't hear much of what you're saying right now, but I assume you're doing.
No, I was
He's
just picking it up.
napping.
I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah, cool. All right. Yes, definitely easily hit. As he's now turned to look at Sora, and you shoot him kind of in the up in the side there. Okay, and oof! Oh gosh, you just bury an arrow into his side. It's just like literally, Sora. You see, just as he's kind of like doing this and kind of getting out of the fire a little bit there, an arrow just comes in and shoots right into the meat under his arm, and the arrow disappears. Like it just goes all the way into him. Like you don't even see the
Nice.
fletching sticking out of there. And he's like, oh, and like he's like just crying out, and he's not dropped, but he's looking bad. He's trying to like hold the damage, hold in there. So
Very nice. Very nice.
okay, so
Still
was your
get a
action?
bonus action, right?
Still get a bonus action. Go for it. Yep.
Okay, I think this is a bonus action. It is a bonus action. I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
Spirit Shroud.
What does that do? I've never seen that one from you before.
Thor's not played it before, and it's gonna do cold damage.
Okay.
Did it link the spell to you?
Did not see it. No.
Okay.
Let's see. Kind of the ghosty thing like that. We'll call that good. Oh, you also have Death Ward up, so let's put that on you too. We'll call that. We'll give that the heart. Cool. Spirit Shroud. Okay,
I don't know that the damage will go off first, but you know, at least I'll have it around
attack
me.
you make deals. Okay. All right. Yes, the speed is reduced to 10 feet. Thanks to turn. It's turn. Okay. All right. Yeah. So he's like, so you will, Grim, you'll see this there. And Amethyst,
I moved up that 4. I didn't move
well,
but I did do some movement.
Okay, that's fine. So,
because it was a bonus action. Steady aim,
right.
Fired,
Well, you can't move when steady aim. Remember, steady aim, you cannot move. So you're still there. You can still shoot the guy from where you're at, but you can't move when you steady aim.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, you're good. You got the shot off there, and you can definitely move and dash and everything else next turn. So
His speed is reduced to 0, by the way, Jim.
0? Just
Yeah.
by 10 feet.
Oh, sorry. I only saw the 0. My apologies.
Yeah. Reduce. Yeah. Yep. So he is definitely slower, but he's also like engaged with you now. So Lucas, you're up.
You were just going to say something to Amethyst, and then it went away.
I don't remember what it was now because I think there was
I messed him up. I'm sorry.
Grimbard.
Yes.
Yeah, never mind.
You asked her about, it was about something about the cold.
It was about the spirit shroud, I think.
So you will 60 feet?
Yeah, 60 feet per
Okay.
body inspiration. So, no bonus.
Okay. All right. Grim, you're up now.
Me.
You have an ally that's in melee with them, so you can definitely.
None sure things having problems again.
Yep, I'm
Yeah,
not
it
gonna
is.
mess
It's
with
spinning.
it.
I'm going to move here. Come on.
Go for it.
I can't move. I put the wrong thing, so I'm gonna move to here.
Stop. Turn off the measuring. Go back. Okay, perfect.
And he's got him. Well, no, I'm gonna free her up. I'm gonna shoot him. So
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot him so she can free up and keep on moving. Oh, that was with advantage, but I don't need it.
Yep, you don't need it. You're good. You hit. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, yeah. Sora, as he's kind of like reaching it, another arrow just kind of hits the side of the temple and he's kind of like, and the lights go out in the eyes and he collapses to the ground.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You still have some more movement if you want, Grim, or you want to just stay where you're at. You also have a bonus action to dash or do something else if you want.
Okay, so I'm gonna do one. That was what? 5, 10, 15, 30. And then I'm gonna dash 5, 10, 15, 20 to here.
Okay. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be me. I'm done.
Okay, and now it's the mage.
No, he's held. Oh, he gets.
Well, he's held, but it means he gets to try to save. But it's not likely to happen for him. He does get advantage. But 13, nope. Wisdom save is not high for him. So he is still held.
Oh.
Amethyst, you're up.
Oh, that's going to make this really suck for him then. I'm going to drop a fireball on him.
That'll hit 2.
That'll hit 2. Yeah.
You might be able to move it. You might be able to move it about 2 squares over and hit 3.
I don't know if it's going to hit all 3 of them. No.
Yeah, not quite.
Not quite.
Yeah, it's going to hit 2, though.
Yeah. Get them 2.
Those 2?
Why not?
Alrighty. In that case, kaboom. Let's see. The ogre here will try to make a dex save.
Shall I get rid of it now?
Yeah, go do rid of it. That's fine. Yep. So how much is it? 33? Okay. Oh, what's the damage?
Yeah, I need to do. I know, it's like you've got to go into that bit and get the thing and pull that across and then go on the character sheet and do the thing and sorry.
Fire critical damage? What's that?
I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I'll call the 33 though. That's fine.
I don't really know why that said that. That was very strange. But he will fail his deck save. The
Sure
mage
will.
dude.
Because he's got hold. Is maybe because he was held.
Yes, because he's held. He automatically fails deck saves.
But you don't get critical damage on a saving throw. That's why I'm like,
No,
there's
I
no
don't know why that
fireball.
happened. I've no idea why that happened.
No idea. Yeah, no worries.
It's not like you don't do it to hit or anything.
Nope.
I don't understand. Roll 20 acting
No.
daft.
Not a problem. We're all good. So yeah, they both hit the damage. Both still up. He's and on hell they don't get a says that's charming. They get a save their damage. They don't. He's just okay. So he's still held. I'm very unhappy. Anything else with this?
You're welcome. No, yeah, I'm going to move a little bit. Just sort of like come back down here a little bit behind this rock.
Okay.
Bit of cover, maybe. We'll see. While still being able to see Tora.
How high are you up?
Well, however high the top of that rock is, I'm just going to just be behind that. So
I'll call that 120 feet.
Okay, and then I'm 20 feet up.
Okay. All right. Okay, the ogres. Hey, they can see people. Yay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rushing on in on Sora. This one's gonna run 2, 3, 4, 5 between the rocks there, and pulls out a javelin from a little pouch in his belt and hucks it up at you.
Where's my rubber duck when I need it?
18. Does not hit you.
No.
This one here, and you'll do one right. Okay. This one here, Sora he's got a big old like banded like club with like steel bands on it and stuff there. And 15 misses you. This one's gonna run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gonna actually 1, 2. He's gonna run up to this guy trying to snap him out of it, shaking him. That'll work, right?
You gotta try what you can try.
And then they'll move and dash. They'll dash. Because one kind of runs underneath you. Kind of dodging on the side of the rock over here, heading off in this direction for Sora. And that's all of them. Okay. The hill giants. Oh boy.
Let's
see. I think actually
a D6, I think.
D8 extra damage. Oh, yep. So 18 more. Oh, yeah. I could do something about fireballs. Okay, cool. So we'll start off with the ogre and kind of work our way around. Ogre deck save. Look at that. No. Ogre deck save. Nope. You can just say it's this guy here.
Well, it is. I was just kind of curious.
Yeah.
All right.
My Tuesday night game is you can target it now.
Yeah, I'll say that is a real pain in the butt. It's in using Foundry. Yeah, and if you don't target them, then it doesn't calculate properly, and you don't know if you hit them or not, and or sometimes you target yourself by accident. Yes. Yeah. They have no armor.
Me more than it's going to hurt you, but I'm going to go here.
Wow. She pulled the mom card.
I'm going to do a cone here, but I'm just going to try and turn it so it gets more people. So bear with. Oh, I need to. I'm sorry.
Just start rolling.
Don't be sorry. It's an effective spell.
Yeah.
I know, but all of the dice have to happen first, and it's really horrible.
Yep. But that's what it is. Okay, cool. So, deck saves across the board. Great. Okay. So we'll start with the hill giant right in front of you.
And I'll start with the D8.
Save. What a shock. Okay. Why are you turn criticals off on there? What's going on with that? That's weird.
I've no idea what's going on. I really don't know. It's annoying. Where? So let's
one's
go
that?
D8 with the closest one to me,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
10d6 poison.
So poison damage 37. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yes. No resistance is cool.
Lightning damage.
Oh.
Well, he's not. He's got to fail 3 con saves first before he turns to
Turning
stone.
to stone, not turned.
Okay.
Turning.
All right. Okay. Okay. Giant in the back.
Yep, he made
Yeah,
a save.
Yeah. So that's half of the acid damage. The orange.
Okay, which what was acid was 32.
Sorry.
Oof.
16.
Cool. He's up. Oh my gosh.
Okay, and we got these 2 as well, haven't we? So that little guy there. I say little. He's
Mhm.
bigger than me. He
Much.
gets the cold damage. 10d6 cold.
18. Almost as good as he can get.
And then the last giant, 6. He's also restrained and needs to make 3 con saves.
He blew his deck save, which I didn't roll for him yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, but not well enough.
No. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we will do that and that. Cool. Restrained, you can't move again. All right, cool.
So
That's everybody.
that
And
is
Lucas,
everybody.
you are just on the other
Oh.
edge of it there, seeing all this stuff coming at you.
Move a bit more.
The sorceress just laid down.
Yep. All right. So
Nope.
that's that. Ogre. Fail it. 24 to hit. Did I hit him at this?
That'll hit me. Mm-hmm.
So you
Hi.
get grazed by a javelin as it sails past you. Clatters against the rocks down below you. Giants. Oh boy. This one makes a con save. And does not. Okay. One fail. But restrained. This one here. Ooh boy. Unlike you.
It's a shame I can only do one of those, isn't it? Well, they just stood in a nice little triangle. How could I resist that? They were just like, look at us. We're in a nice triangle for you. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
If you
Here
insist.
comes the rocks at you.
Yeah.
Because you're scary.
I know.
21 to hit?
Yep.
Oh, wow. 20 bludgeoning. There you go. Your temporary hit points.
Yay.
Next rock. Misses. Okay. That's all of them.
Okay.
Sora. You pull your wings back in, and there's a big dead giant in front of you, kind of blocking your path. And an ogre over there next to Grimbar. And a giant who's frozen in place here. You can always move through it.
Step over top of the big bad guy. Yeah. Swinging.
All right. You hit.
There's the D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can try to hold person. You can do something else, whatever you want to do there. You gang up, sneak attack, crush with hammer, everything else you need to do. Take that guy out there. And this guy is now essentially hold person, hold monster, whatever, and then he is going to be pretty much helpless before you. You can bind him, truss him up,
The general.
do whatever you need to do. But you now have as we start next time, you will have a chance to interrogate somebody and find out information from him. I guarantee you probably have a better chance of getting information from him than the general would, as you have people with detect thoughts and people with very yeah.
No, this is true.
And and one last thing to leave you with here. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say I want to drop the main.
And there is blood among those tracks, heading off in this southeast direction here. And they are large footprints, giant-sized footprints, heading off that direction. It's what the ogre was like standing over here, hunched over, looking at tracks on the ground there. You'll spot them fairly easily. The fact that there's giant footsteps, and no giants got this far out of the battlefield. So he's seeing giant footsteps heading off this direction with blood mixed in there. Something went off that way.
Okay, I'll mention that to
Okay.
everybody.
So you have an ogre, you got a dead ogre, well, a bunch of dead folks here. So you can do all that kind of thing. And you have a chance to find out some information next time. So when we come back next, and actually, just to let you all know here, we'll not be here next week. So no game next Saturday. The following Saturday will be starting a little bit late at 2:30 Pacific time. So the following week we'll be starting about a half hour late. So we'll just plan for 2:30 Pacific time, 5:30 Eastern time, 10:30 UK time.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see you in 2 weeks, a half an hour later. So hope everyone had a good time. I know what I did is fun seeing big nasty things going down in a hurry to you guys, because that's what these are.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see you again soon. Hope you all had fun. Next time drinks are on us. We'll see you again soon. Have fun. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.